when I started doing these, I thought, I'd be able to comment on him fucking up every now and then, but most of the time it would be old stuff or whatever. Like if somebody asked me something, I thought, there's a video I could make in that, because I thought there'd be enough time between Phil fucking up and me thinking I need to comment on that for me to do other videos in the meantime. But the writers on this arc have been on one. They've been on form. This arc is like accelerating towards the season finale, like at breakneck pace, because he just keeps fucking up. Gonna talk about OIC, Kevin Bernstein, and DSP's reaction to it, because it's it's a pretty serious thing, this one, and I've talked about OIC before previously, and I've talked about how Phil is with his fans as well, so I feel like you should probably comment on this one a bit. So thanks, Aquatil, shout out for capturing this moment.
Sadly, I got drama I gotta address. I did talk about this drama last night in the Daily Wrap, but since we now have a full pre-stream, I want to address it in full. I want to lay down the law fully so everyone understands what's going on. All right? First of all, I feel like it's really stupid that I have to do this, but I have to make a statement before I even start. Ladies and gentlemen, right now, you are on my stream. This is a place for fun, for chill. It's for gameplay. It's for us to interact and have a social experience. But it's my place of business. You have to understand that. When you come on my stream, it's the equivalent as if you walked into my brick and mortar store that I own somewhere, and your behavior has to be appropriate. Now, admittedly, I'm lax when it comes to behavior in my streams.
All right, straight away, bollocks there. I'm lax when it comes to behavior in my streams. No, you're not. You're not. How do you even like have the brass ones to sit there and claim that when having the wrong name can get you banned from his stream? You don't even need to have like a shout outy detractor conspiracy sort of name. Having the name of like a regular or a mod will get you banned. Having the name of something he doesn't like will get you banned. Having a name that's a reference to wrestling will probably get you on thin ice. And that's before we've even gotten to behaviour. Also, I've noticed my hair, sorry. I don't like when it looks curly like that. But yeah, just fucking hell. We're already off to a great start. The most unchill man on the internet, the most ban-happy man on the internet, says he's quite lax when it comes to behaviour in his streams. Fuck, this one's going to be a wild one, isn't it?
If you notice, a lot of people do a lot of silly things over the top, and a lot of the times I just let it go.
No, right? I can't let this one go. No, you don't. No, you don't. You will stop streams to like call somebody out. He'll stop a stream and he'll be like, right, this username here, you're being an asshole, stop it. And I'm fed up of it, and I'm going to make an embarrassment of you, and I'm going to humiliate you in front of everybody else, and I'm going to go at you, and now that I'm done, I'm going to lean in this way, and I'm going to ban you. He will stop gameplay streams to do that. And then after he's done banning, he'll be like, right, now that we've got that out of the way, I hope everybody else would realise that, this is a place for fun, chill, interactive streaming. And, if you're derailing the chat by talking about anything other than the game and what I'm doing, then you're derailing and you risk exactly that. So fall in line and let's get back to the game. The only way Phil would ever let something go is if there's no mods, which there wasn't during this stream for a lot of it. There's no mods, and he can't take his attention away from the game if he can't stop playing to deal with something. And most of the time that's not a concern, because he will stop and deal with something even if there are mods in the chat. So, yeah, even then you're pushing it. Even then by saying, I let it go. Like, you really have to stretch a definition in order to say, yeah, there he is, letting it go. Because most of the time he won't. Most of the time he'll stop. If something's going on in chat that's doing his head in, he'll tell you to stop it, and he'll stop the stream to tell you to stop it. And then if it doesn't stop, he'll start banning. So, yeah, no, he doesn't let you go at all. Doesn't.
I'm not going to sit here. It's not my job to parent you and the other stream viewers and chatters. It's not my job to sit here and chastise you and waggle my finger like an old begrudged man. Begrudged, I don't even know what that means.
He's after the word curmudgeonly. But, yeah, you will. You'll do that. You might not, like, actually wave your finger at the camera, but you'll do it.
Alright, I'm gonna say, everyone, please stop derailing the stream. Please stop arguing with each other in chat. We're trying to have a good time here at Halo. I look back in the chat and people are having a bunch of arguments and disagreements and insulting each other. I'm not gonna have it. I want to time people out. I want people to be happy here, nice. You know, we got a good stream going. Please don't start with that baloney. There it is, the back smack. I like that. The back smack.
You'll do that sort of thing. You will talk to the stream chat like they're kids and you're the parent. You do it all the time. Fuck.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, I just want people to come and have a chill time. And I feel like everyone should be relaxed and have a good time. And 9 times out of 10 that happens. All right? But every once in a while shit gets out of hand. And then I kind of have to, like, lay down the law. I don't like having to do it. But last night was completely unacceptable what happened, okay?
I'm going to bet he does like doing it. I'm going to bet it's the closest thing to sexual ecstasy that he has in his life outside of WWE champions.
So allow me to explain and give some backstory on what's going on so you guys understand what's going on. Okay? Here we go. So, 2 stream chatters have been at each other's throats. I don't know why. I don't care. Has nothing to do with me, right?
All right, first of all. Yeah, I know, I'm going to mention it. Yeah. I know. Yeah, about the responsibility of being a streamer. Yeah. I'm mentioning it, don't worry. Yeah. I am going to mention that as well. It's okay, I don't need reminding. Look, I do appreciate it. You get back to playing with that notepad and mauling it. Oh, you're currently chasing your own tail. Fine. Yeah. It's your tail. Sorry. Yeah. When Phil is a streamer, as any streamer, basically, you have a responsibility for the content in your chat. You have the, you are the one who decides you be a mod. You enforce these rules. You are the one who decides the rules that mods have to enforce. So, you know, arguably, he should care about what's going on in his chat because it's his chat and it's his responsibility. You know, I get that. Sort of having mods is not necessarily an abrogation, but it's like making them responsible so you don't have to be. It's you have mods so that they can police the chat and sort of like enforce the rules. And if they're anything like the DDM mods, they'll chat as well. They'll chat just as much shit as the regular stream chatters, and they won't really be like that ban happy. I think I've only ever seen like one person banned in DDM, and it was the porn bot. But yeah, so having mods like that is necessarily a thing that you have to do because you have to be playing the game. So I can see that, but you are still ultimately responsible. And if there's no mod, you are especially responsible because it's then back to you again. It's then back on your shoulders to police and moderate the chat. The chat is your responsibility. Just because you want to spend most of the time ignoring it unless they're actually sending you money doesn't mean that you actually get to do that. You have to be responsible for it, arguably, as a streamer. That's the way I see it anyway. I think that most streamers actually see it like that as well, because you know, you don't want to be the one with the cesspit chat. You want people coming back to you, and you want them to feel like, yeah, I can go and have a cool time watching this person and like interacting with the other streamers, the other viewers in the chat, because that's the sort of thing that keeps people coming back and ultimately gets them to give you money. So, you know, it's my favorite thing about the DDM chats and the other people that restream him, like Meerkat Inc. and Almighty Frogger and Aquateal, sorry. Fuck. I'm forgetting me. There's so many new people. There's a fucking pastor. There's like someone's doing like religious takes on Phil now. That's, you know, that's the role that I didn't foresee. That's the perspective that I didn't think we'd see coming into the into the DDM community. So the DDM community, into the SP community. I didn't ever expect to see somebody giving like a religious take on Phil. But yeah, so there's a lot of new people, and I'm not great with names, and I was thinking of Anlete. So, you know, people that restream and either let the stream run quiet by itself, or will talk and comment like Tevin used to do. I always appreciate them because there's always a better sense of community. And in Phil's chat, it's hard to get that because you have ban happy mods like breathing down your neck, and you also have Phil who will like just stop to embarrass you. So it's hard to feel like a sense of community. I'm always impressed that anybody does, because everything there seems like designed to stop a community forming. But yeah, just the idea that you can be ignorant of your chat as a streamer is... I don't care. I'm not watching it. I don't care. But you should be. You should be watching it and you should care. It's your chat.
And, you say, oh, why are you calling them out? Because this is totally about these two people. It's about Only Iced Coffee and Kevin Bernstein. For some reason, these two stream viewers have had it out these last few weeks. I don't know what's going on with them, why they're hating on each other or whatever. But here's what's going on.
Right. For that stream itself, there's probably previous streams where they've been, stuff going on. But I at least went back through the streams and the stream itself, the Halo one. And I went and found every comment that Kevin made and every comment that OIC made leading up to OIC saying, I'm going through his chat over previous streams and compiling everything. So, they didn't necessarily interact on this chat. There was a period where Kevin had finished chatting and disappeared. I think it was like 20 or 30 minutes. And then OIC shows up. But also this didn't take that long because his chat moved really, really slowly. So all I did was I just kept skipping forward by like 30 seconds. And you'd be amazed how long a message stays on screen. And because they've both got identifiable names, it was really easy to just 30 seconds check the 3 green names that are on none of them and skip on. It was surprisingly easy. But yeah, like I said, it's because his stream chat's dead. So yeah, they didn't necessarily interact on that stream itself, but at least on that stream itself, it seemed to come out of nowhere. Because he didn't mention that he was OIC. So yeah.
Okay, Only Iced Coffee used to be a humongous contributor to my streams. Last year in particular, one of the biggest contributors, day in, day out. That did slow down, and I appreciate everything that he did for this stream over time. Every once in a while, he still pops in, says hello, and every once in a while, he'll contribute. Okay?
Right. He makes that... The way he said that then makes it seem like OIC just occasionally comes in and chucks in a couple of dollars here and there. It makes it seem like OIC used to give quite a lot and now he can't. So that's... and, obviously Phil is the good guy that he is. He appreciates that. He understands that and he's fine with it. And since then, OIC is like every now and then, on a rare occasion, he'll come in to say hi. And every now and then, out of those few occasions where he comes in to say hi, he might donate a couple of bucks here and there. I went through the tips tracker as well for this one. And between, when was it, the 11th of April and the 11th of... No, I have my dates wrong. It's from the 22nd of April, sorry. It's because of the way you Americans do it. You've put 11/22 and we put 22/11. So yeah, anyway, from the 22nd of April to the 22nd of November, which is the period that the tips tracker has, OIC, just the account that's named OIC, no other sock accounts, but just the account, has donated over $3,300. By my count, it was $3,326.47. A grand total from April to now. And that is somewhat not OIC occasionally stops in and he occasionally tips. That's $3,000. That's more than $3,000 just from one person. Now that I'm saying it, fucking hell. Fuck me. It's $3,000. And I wrote it down, and so I've seen the number, but saying it sinks in. Saying it makes you actively consider it as the words are coming out of your mouth. Just spend that money on hookers. At least then you get laid. Spend the money on drugs. At least then you'll feel alright. Spend the money on fucking Video games. At least then you'll have something to do. Go on holiday. Go on holiday. Fly somewhere else. Visit another country. See another culture. Meet new people. It's not he occasionally stops in. Even just assuming that he has no, like doing him the immense privilege of assuming that he has no other sock accounts and isn't donating anywhere other than this. That's still $3,000 in 7 months. Now, I know that's not much of a wage, but that's coming from one person. So imagine spending $3,000 on Phil. Why? Like I asked Snow Carl, what do you get out of that? What do you get out of that? Also, if you can hear noise, my cat's cleaning herself. But I don't know. I don't know what you'd get out of that. I don't know what sort of, But then again, I'm skint, so I couldn't bring myself to spend that much money on one person. Either all in one go or cumulatively. I couldn't. Give me, like 12 years in a Steam account and yeah. But right now, I'm too skint, so I can't.
He was a moderator for a while. He wanted to help out earlier this year with moderation, and for a few months he was a moderator, and most people had no issue with him as a moderator at all. All right?
Massive X to doubt that one.
The problem is, because he was a big contributor, the ire of the internet has been on him, especially, as you know, my internet trolls latch on to people who do positive things for me in my streams, okay? So they hate him. They hate his guts, all right?
I don't hate OIC. I don't know him. Never met him, never talked to him. I don't know him, so I don't hate him. I have no opinion of him. I can see what his actions do, though. I watched the chat through that video, well, by skimming. I watched the chat. He didn't come across very well in the comments following, him saying, I'm keeping an eye on this guy. I'm watching him. I know where he lives, where he works, and what sort of transportation he takes to work. But I don't hate OIC. I feel quite ambivalent about him. I'm just curious as to the effect that his actions have on your community and what that says about you. Because ultimately, you're the one I'm interested in.
So already there's drama associated with Only Iced Coffee because of how he used to contribute, because he was a moderator, etc., etc. Okay?
And the fact that he still does, because like I said, it's $3,000 this year. $3,326. 47 cents. Yeah, I know. It still blows my mind. Yeah.
I've seen all kinds of drama and shit surrounding this guy over the last several months. I don't play that game. I'm not going to let that shit derail my streams at all.
Alright, so there's no real way around this. For part of this video, I thought OIC was still a mod. So, I make that a point when I'm making a couple of arguments. I do realise later, I do sort of think, hang on a minute, is he still a mod? And then I sort of mentally kick myself for not checking. But yeah, I still think like a lot of the points that I make could still be applied, because it's, a lot of the points that I make are stuff like Phil is tacitly endorsing this person by not punishing them in a way, and this person is seen as having a privileged position within the community. So I think those points still apply. Stuff like he has mod powers and can ban other people necessarily doesn't, but the other points I make about him, being seen as better than the others in Phil's eyes, I think they still apply. But yeah, either way, it's a bit annoying, really. See, this is why I shouldn't try to rush my videos. I should take my time and make sure that I know what I'm talking about. I do my research when I'm doing projects. Do my research when I'm doing other videos. And at least then it's not embarrassing to edit when you get to a point where you're wrong and you're like, fuck, I can't do anything about that. Well, anyway, yeah, sorry about that. Bear that in mind as you go through the video, like for 2/3 of it. Fuck. Sorry. No, but as he is your mod, that is your tacit approval of him, because you've put him in a privileged position of authority over your chat in your streams. So his modship is okay. Maybe tacit endorsement might be a bit, but I argue that it is. I would argue that that fucking phrase. In my opinion, it is, because it is fine as a descriptor because Phil is okay with this person being in charge of his stream chat, and to me that says you're at least okay with them. If I'm streaming and somebody comes to me and says I want to be a mod, I have to sort of like make a value judgment of that person before I give him modship, don't I? I have to sort of, if I've seen him regularly in the chat, I have to evaluate all the ways I've seen him behave and decide, is that appropriate for a person that will be in a position of authority over my chat? You know, you have to consider that before, you have to consider things like that before you make somebody a mod. So it's, you know, it is an endorsement in a way, because you're saying I'm okay with how this person is. I'm okay with the way that this person is in chat, and I trust this person with these abilities to mute and to block people, you know. So you necessarily should do something about that. You should care about that, and you should play that game, because he's your mod. You've made him a mod. Yeah, I see. She agrees with me. It is, isn't it? It's an assessment of somebody, and it's an evaluation of somebody. And then once you've done that, it's either an endorsement or a rejection of them. Yeah. See, I'm not alone in this. My cat agrees with me. By the way, guys, cat also agrees with me.
As you know, I don't really talk about the guy that much at all, unless he contributes. Or if he's here, I'll say hello, I'll have a conversation with him. But I'm not about that shit. People would love for me to just sit here and talk about drama all day with this guy, and I'm not going to do it. I'm not playing that fucking game, because that's not what my streams are about. You understand? Fair enough. Okay. Now, we've got Kevin Bernstein. Kevin, in the last few months, has become a stream regular that everyone recognizes, and a lot of people like the guy and have great positive interactions with him. Personally, I'm one of them. I like the conversations I have with Kevin. We have a good time together on the streams. He contributes.
That's what makes him good. That's what makes you pay attention to him and to have a positive character evaluation of him, that he contributes. That's it. That's, you know, that's basically the point I'm making.
In positive ways, both monetarily and not monetarily. Okay? So it's great. Personally, Kevin, I'll be honest with you, I think you give away way too much information in the chat.
There we go, straight away with the victim blaming. He's immediately shifting attention and responsibility, from himself and from OIC onto Kevin. You know, it's not, yeah, I'm trying to get to that point, don't worry. It's not that OIC has behaved in an inappropriate way and Phil is like explicitly not punished him for that. It's Kevin's fault for talking about too many personal things and being a bit too open in Phil's chat. Yeah, was that okay? Did I forget anything? No? Okay. Right, I'll get on with it. So yeah, that's the victim blaming. It's not my fault because I made somebody who shouldn't be a mod, and they abuse that power, or that they acted in a way that made you scared or uncomfortable, or they were hostile or threatening to you. It's your fault for talking too much. You might as well say he was asking for it. Look at what he was wearing.
I've seen you have personal conversations with people during streams where you're like talking about personal stuff, and I'm just going to lay this out up front for everyone.
During Microsoft Flight Simulator, people would be paying him to fly over where they live. People would be giving him money and saying, here's my state, here's my city, here's where I live, go fly over this. It's fine when there's money attached. It's fine when it's benefiting Phil. But if you want to have a personal conversation with somebody in my chat who you may talk to a lot and may feel like a bit of an extra layer of, like, it's not just somebody that's in the same chat as you. It's somebody that you recognize. It's somebody that you know stuff about. Like, you know, I know stuff about... Actually, should I mention people? I don't suppose it really hurts, does it, to say, hey, these are like some fellow detractors that I know stuff about because, you know, actually, no, yeah, fair enough. But still, there's people there's people in the detractor community that I recognise a lot more than others because I see them a lot and sometimes I interact with them. You know, Super Crazy is a good example. I feel like a special something with Super Crazy because, you know, it's because of Super Crazy that I started this and because Super Crazy's always been a bit supportive and he's given us shout outs and things. So, you know, if we're all in a chat and I see Super Crazy there, it's like, hey, I know, you know, it's like, hey, man, how you doing? So it's a thing that develops in healthy communities because individuals are able to form those bonds with other individuals, and you shouldn't be like in any sort of way scared of talking to people like that, you know, or feel like if I talk about like, oh, my day at work was shit because I normally do this and this thing happened, somebody's gonna take that information and dox me. You know, you shouldn't feel like that in a healthy community. You should be able to think, I could talk to these people that I recognise and I interact with elsewhere as well. Because, you know, there's Twitter and there's Facebook and there's Discords and there's other message boards that people all use, you know. It's not just exclusively here that things happen regarding DSP. People talk about him elsewhere as well. So the idea that you can form these bonds with people, but you shouldn't actually be able to do it in the chat, in the community that you're in, is a really alien and toxic one to me because, again, like I said earlier, it seems to be designed to stop a community forming in the first place. You can't really sort of like be a healthy community if the people within aren't able or allowed to form bonds with each other. That's how being a community works, because once you start forming bonds with numerous people, you start coming back to the place where those bonds are formed and you start interacting with those people more because you recognize them, because you form bonds with them, and that's how friends happen.
Stop doing that. Not just on my streams, everywhere on the internet. You guys have no idea because you're not in my shoes.
I met a girlfriend online. I've met people online that live on like the other side of the world. I know Australians. I've got an Australian friend. I've got an American friend. I've got friends in other countries. I've been to other countries because there've been people there that I've met online. It's, you know, it's not 2004 anymore, you know. It's not a period where more and more people start getting online and there's a lot of emphasis on you don't necessarily know the person. It's meeting people and having internet friends, meeting people from online is an incredibly more normalized thing than it was 15 or 20 years ago. It's way more common and it's way more it's easier for you to form those bonds because there are multiple ways of you to be able to form those bonds. You could do Discord, you could do Facebook and Twitter, you could do the streaming communities on YouTube and Twitch, you know, you could do forums, you could do anonymous message boards. There's lots of ways to sort of like interact with people and meet people and establish relationships with them. I don't just mean like relationships, boyfriend and girlfriend, husband, wife. I mean like interactions in a recognizable way where you know this person because you've spoken to them before. So the next time you see them somewhere, you're like, hey, how's it going? And they're like, oh, hey, how you doing? That sort of relationship. And any interaction, a social interaction, you know. So he's like in a 2004 mindset of it's really dangerous. Just don't give out any information at all. Obviously, I'm not saying go and give out your address to everybody that you know online, but don't be scared of talking about, you know, how shit your day was at work or, you know, the weather where you are right now and stuff like that. You can interact in a more normal way. And you can interact online in a way that increasingly mirrors how you would interact offline because it is easier for you to do that. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing, you know. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're in danger when you do it. So, God, if Phil was British, he'd read the Daily Mail.
People on this internet.
No, he wouldn't. He'd read the Express. He'd read the Daily Express, Phil. if he was British, I swear. Yeah, I'm going to do it now. Also, if you're British, shout out. If you know, then you know.
Are fucked up. They will look for information as little and non-personal and as unharmful information you think it may be. They will look for little pieces and snippets of information to compile it together and then make it to hurt people. I know that sounds crazy because it is.
All right, so let's unpack that. He's talking about doxing, and we all know he's talking about doxing. But the way he talks about it, again, reinforces the idea that you shouldn't ever talk to anyone about anything, you know. And I've had some incredibly personal conversations with people that I know online because I've known them online for long enough where I've felt like I can talk about these personal things with you, you know. And that's not necessarily a thing that is ultimately safe because, you know, somebody could always dox you. Somebody could always like leak that private conversation, but it doesn't necessarily mean that everybody will. It doesn't necessarily mean that anybody will. You know, you can still talk about things with people online and they will acknowledge that you're an individual with a right to, you know, these things being kept private and a recognition of like the privileged position that they're in because they're talking to somebody in a personal way about personal things and not leak stuff about you. So, you know, obviously I've never given up my address or anything like that. But again, so sometimes public stuff is public. There's like national registers and things. So, you know, criminal databases are public. You know, some sentencing things are public. You can usually find when somebody's been sent to jail because the records are public, you know. So, yeah, public stuff is already out there and you're not likely to get doxed is the ultimate point because most people aren't worth doxing. Nobody cares. Most people aren't interesting enough to dox. People like Phil are interesting enough to dox. Whereas, I don't know where that came from then. Sorry. Well, I know where it came from, but, you know, I didn't feel it. People like Phil are, you know, likely targets of doxing. If he hadn't doxed himself already. But, you know, not everybody is going to be doxed because most people aren't interesting enough to dox. They're just regular users of the internet and nobody cares. So, yeah. Most detractors aren't worth doxing because we've all got lives where we just like, yeah, we go to work and then we come back and, you know, then we catch up on Phil's stuff for a bit in between playing video games or, you know, doing regular household stuff and, you know, dealing with our kids and our wives and our families, actual families. Some of us have pets. And it's really mundane and boring, so nobody cares. But when you live your life, you know, 6 hours a day, 6 days a week, talking about how desperate you are for money and how many bills you've got because of your tax issues, then people are going to come looking. Basically, don't be like Phil and you probably won't be doxed.
But that's how these fucking people are. They'll compile things you've said over the internet for the past year and a half to make a profile on you and use that to try to find out who you are in real life and fuck with you.
Remember that bit. We're going to come back to that later.
Yes. Yes, they will. Even if you think you're a no one. Oh, I'm a nobody. Why would anyone want to do that to me? Because people are nuts.
No one's coming after just regular people. Nobody cares. Nobody cares enough to go after regular people. It's people like you. It's people that make a song and a dance about things. Whether they're on the left or the right, you know. Whether you're a Democrat or a Republican. Whether you're a Labour voter or a Tory voter. People just want to know about you because you make such a huge thing about all these needs that you have of the money that your viewers give you. So people are going to want to check. You know, people are going to want to know, hang on a minute, is this money going where he says it's going, or is it going to $16.51 a mobile game and a delivery service that brings you food and wine? So yeah, most people aren't acting like you and worth bothering with. So yeah, Not everybody's mental. Not everybody's as mental as he is. I think this is because he has been inside for so long. Again, it's so many things come back to this, but because his main interactions with people boil down to either fawning praise, here's loads of money, or antagonistic like that. He views it as antagonistic. He views stuff like that as attacks. He views people questioning what he does. He views people questioning his statements, his authority, his ideas, the way he's doing things. All of that stuff. If you question anything about Phil, it's an attack. And therefore, most of his interactions are either people giving him money or attacks. So he has this disproportionately warped view of other people. Most people who use the internet are not mental enough to go doxing people. Most people don't have the time or the effort or the energy or the inclination. Most people just don't care enough to go and do all the work that is involved in compiling your information from all these disparate sources. So most people are fine on the internet. There's people that I don't ideologically agree with on many other things that still come and watch my videos and don't care that I believe differently, because here we both agree on how fucked up you are. And I don't care that they believe other things, because we're not here for that. We're here to talk about you, and I like that they're coming to see me because it means I'm interesting to people who are very different from me as well. So, and nobody cares. Nobody cares about anyone enough to bother. But when your viewpoint of everybody who's alternate to you, everybody who's different to you, everybody who opposes you, everybody who disagrees with you is an antagonistic one, it is these guys are fucking mental perspective, then you're going to think that literally everybody who's not giving you praise and adulation in your chat is this other person. They're all like this because your main experience of it is like that. And your main experience of it is because you are that antagonistic in the first place, and you don't go out and expose yourself enough to other places and other people that you are able to sort of rationalize it and balance things out and achieve a better equilibrium between recognizing that not everybody on the internet is fucking mental and will dox you, and not everybody that you meet is going to give you fawning praise and adulation. So I think he believes that because he's been inside so much. I think he believes that everybody's mental because his perspective of people who don't agree with him is so antagonistic, because he is. To any narcissist, challenging them, challenging their perspective or their beliefs or their opinions is an attack, because they can't appropriately absorb a different opinion. And again, because he's not mature, he's never really matured as an adult. He's a facsimile of adulthood, you know. His marriage is not a marriage in the conventional sense. It's a marriage of convenience. He doesn't express feelings about his wife the way a person normally would, you know. So he's and again, the roles and responsibilities that she have indicates that she is his carer. So he's basically never matured enough to the point where he is able to consider other opinions and perspectives and viewpoints and see criticism as not necessarily an attack, and to be able to accept all this stuff in a mature way. It's such a mess. There's so many things that you can say to blame for this. Him staying inside, him being a narcissist, his opinion of people being influenced by the fact that most of them are antagonistic to him because he's antagonistic to them first. Wow. And I know all this, so again, it doesn't necessarily shock me. It's just saying it out loud makes it sink in. So, you know, it shouldn't shock me anyway. Still blown away by how malignant his narcissism is.
They're crazy. They will get a bug up their ass about you, and then they'll come after you. As fucked up as that sounds, okay?
Oh, yeah, like you did about Snort Burnell and Evil AJ. Because these people did things that, you know, they concretely harmed him, you know, by which I mean they took the piss. They're making fun of him. They're not harming him in any way. The fact that so many people agrees with them, to him, says these people are being tricked because Otherwise, if it weren't for, say, Evil AJ and Snort Burnell, these people would be my fans and they'd be okay with me. You can't conceive that Evil AJ and Snort Burnell became popular because people agree with them. So, yeah, he's doesn't necessarily get a bug up their ass, but it is bad behaviour, except when I do it. These people challenge me, and that's bad, but when I challenge them, it's fine. When I try to get their videos taken down, when I even fall for scams about managed partnerships where they say they'll be able to get these things taken down, that's fine. But when people do it to me, it's bad.
The crazy thing about this is people don't realize that they're actively giving that information out on a daily basis. They go to Instagram and they post up a bunch of information and a bunch of pictures that's personal. They go to Facebook and they post up where they live, their place of work, the places they like to hang out, their family members, friends, and relatives are all linked. It's like, what are you, fucking nuts? Do you not understand that people can actively use that information to hurt you?
Now, he's not necessarily wrong there because, you know, it's becoming incredibly popular for stalkers to harass and to find their victims and to bother their family and friends, you know, and to track what they do, to track what their victims are doing, and to follow their victims in that way, you know, and sort of like send harassing messages to their victims and their victims' relatives and friends. And it's, you know, that's social media has like had an unintended side effect of being able to make things like that easier for the people who are that way inclined in the first place, you know. But they're a tiny majority of the overall population. Like, single digit fractions. Not fractions, single digits. And then points. You know, they're not representative of everybody. People like that aren't representative of everybody that you'll meet online. Again, he's just using it to scare his audience. Again, this is him trying to sell you the idea that it's really dangerous out there. It's really dangerous out there on the internet. So don't do it. Don't go on the internet. Stay here where it's safe. I will keep you safe. This is a safe space for all. I've even got a slide in my pre-show, free stream for that. So, you know it's true because I would never lie on a slide. He's selling you that argument. He's selling you his bullshit position again. And again, because he's a liar, he's prefacing it with a lot of extraneous information. So, yeah, most people that you meet aren't going to be stalkers. They aren't going to track you using your personal information.
That's crazy to me. That people think that this is, oh, we're in a safe world and everyone can just share everything. No, absolutely not. Now that we're becoming a more connected world, you got to be careful. And in addition, law enforcement is not equipped to handle anything on the internet. Allow me to repeat that. Law enforcement will not help you if someone is fucking with you on the internet.
I would imagine that varies from state to state in America, but I know over here there are laws against that sort of thing. There are laws regulating, you know, certain behaviours online. You can't tweet certain things. Certain things, you know, you can be liable to be put in prison for. You know, because internet content and stuff published online falls under our laws of like harassment, stalking, threatening behaviour. It falls under relative lines. It falls under stuff like committing terrorist atrocities. If you've threatened to blow up an airplane and then go to the airport, do not be surprised if you are arrested, because law enforcement is going to take your threat to blow up an airplane seriously. So there are certain restrictions. Obviously, they're for extreme cases. You know, most people are not going to be thrown in jail because of a tweet. But if you threaten to kill somebody, you might expect a knock on the door if you're serious about it. So, yeah. The police are underfunded and understaffed. And the law does not keep up with the pace of technological development. You know, but laws are more often than not retroactively added anyway. They are legislated in response to a concern or an incident or a scenario that has occurred. So, yeah, the law is going to struggle with keeping pace, but that's not to say that there's nothing. That's not to say that there are no laws. So the timer for my telly came on. That's not to say that there are no laws or anything that means that it's a free-for-all Wild West internet. You can be in trouble for things that you do online. This is a man who wants people charged with slander and with defamation because of the things they say online. Well, the law has to exist for that to be a thing that you can do. And the fact that you're demanding it means that you know that the law is there. So you know that there are laws regulating your behaviour online in the first place. So it's not a free-for-all. But he needs to sell you on that idea.
They won't. Your account gets hacked, they don't care. Your identity gets stolen, they don't care.
Now, there are laws against identity theft. He's just... I think he went to the police and they said this isn't identity theft. Fuck off. I think that's what this is. Because he would not use that as an example unless he'd been through it himself. Not to say that everything that I've said I've been through myself. I pull hypotheticals out of my ass all the time, but that's because I'm, critically examining it, and that's what you do in forensic psychology. You critically examine everything. You have to pull apart, like, witness statements and things. You have to look at case studies and transcripts of interviews and things, and you have to look at other theories and perspectives and opinions and challenge them, and that involves hypotheticals like, well, what about if this thing didn't happen and this thing instead happened, or it actually happened this way, or there's another explanation for why that pool of blood is on the floor. So I think he went to the police and he said, my account's been hacked. And they took it fairly seriously at first. He went and said, look, I've had somebody hack all these things. Here's what happened. He probably would have been given, either a fraud department or, an online crime department. And they would have sort of maybe interviewed him, or they'd have taken a statement, and he'd have said, like, this person got into my account and released all my details, and then they'd been like, oh God, what else did they do? And he'd be like, well, that was it. And they go, well, did he steal money? Did he, did he make new accounts anywhere? Did he, take out loans in your name? Did he get credit cards or anything in your name? Did he do anything to, like, hurt you in that way? And they'd go, no, he just leaked my transaction history. And they'd be like, all right, well, we'll look into it, Phil, but, currently at the moment we're busy tracking down some human trafficking. So, tracking down some human trafficking. I could really have used better words there. But yeah, that's what I think this is. I think he went to the police and they were like, oh, we can't help you because not really much has happened here. Call us back when somebody, like, actually steals money from you or uses your identity to commit fraud in another way, or, takes out loans and things in your name. So, yeah. Otherwise, we'll keep your case open, but we're probably not going to be able to do much about it. And I think that's what motivated that comment there.
They don't do shit. I literally have talked to my local law enforcement about internet stuff. I've given them concrete evidence that crimes have occurred. Internet crimes. Look, here's fraud, here's theft, here's this, here's that, identity theft. And you know what they said?
See, he corrected himself there. He said theft, and then he went, here's identity theft. Because he was like, I didn't actually have anything stolen. Because he didn't, did he? I've not seen anybody say it. And it's the sort of thing where people hammer home, $16.59 like Till the Cows Come Home in the EDM streams. It's a meme. Things involved in that have become a meme. Sharry's has become a meme. Bahama Breeze has become a meme, you know. So things from that have become memes, and I've not seen anybody actually say this got stolen, this amount got stolen. So he threw out theft, and then as he was struggling for another example of something that had happened to him, here's the fraud, here's the theft, here's the identity theft. Corrected himself. He's like, fuck, I didn't actually have anything stolen. So,
Phil, we don't even have the resources to stop human trafficking. Right now, our biggest concern is there's human trafficking in our area, and we're trying to stop that, and they're using the internet as a way to, like, you know, arrange for that. That's what we're working on. That's all we can work on. We don't have the resources, the budget, the money to tackle anything on the internet outside of that. If you want to contact the FBI, go ahead, but they're in the same boat. They're tackling high-level hacking. They're tackling, you know, espionage and shit.
yeah, because that's, you know, their job. They're bound to have higher concerns than you because they have to look out for stuff like human trafficking and espionage and spies and, you know, government infiltration for people like Russia and China. They have to stop people trying to hack, like, government databases and things. They have bigger concerns than people finding out that you spend a lot of money on iTunes and therefore must have a really large iTunes library, right? He does this every time. Every time. This is my opinion. You should do something about it. Well, we have bigger concerns. How dare you have bigger concerns? How dare you at Machinima have bigger concerns than me, a partner? How dare you at Twitch have bigger concerns than me? How dare Susan of YouTube have bigger concerns than me? How dare the police and the FBI have bigger concerns than me? How far up your own ass do you have to be? Can you see out your nipples, Phil?
They're not tackling this little rinky-dink shit. You see what I'm saying? Because it's funny because people say to me all the time, with the level of harassment you get, why don't you seek out help in law enforcement? I have. No one helps. No one can help you. All right?
No one can help you because you've not been a victim of crime. With the identity theft, arguably, yeah, but you are implying in that statement that we're talking about a period of years where a number of things have happened to you that you feel could have involved law enforcement to the point where you went and sought it. So it's not just the identity theft that we're talking about here, it's other things as well. And the fact that you can't prove that anything happened to you along that way means that you're not actually going to be a priority for the police because, you know, crime has been committed. You know? It's not defamation. If you've sought out defamation lawsuits only to be told by the police or your lawyer that we can't chase this up, it's not because we can't help you. It's because you have not been a victim here. So, I think that's what's under that one. I think that's what's under that lie.
So understand that. Understand that the internet is very much the Wild West. If what you put out there can be used to hurt you, and no one's going to help you if you need help once you start getting harassed and fucked with, okay? I've used to talk about this all the time on my streams, and I basically laid off, and now it seems like a year later, people just don't understand this, and it needs to be reiterated again, okay?
Just, again, I used to talk about it, but then I laid off, and suddenly people forgot. So I need to remind them. Like, maybe things have moved on since you last talked about them. Like, maybe new laws and legislation came into power that meant that you can actually be, say, found guilty of defamation for tweeting something that's defamatory and have to pay damages and put up a statement apologising for the tweet, for example. Maybe there are laws against your online activity, well, behaviours, you know, the way that you act online and the statements that you post. I'm thinking mainly of Twitter here, to be fair. There's been a couple of laws and lawsuits that have happened, like there was I'm sure there was a guy in Scotland who tweeted that he was going to bomb an airport or bomb an airplane, and then he got in trouble for it and was arrested and found guilty. I'm not sure what his sentence was, though. I have a feeling it might be jail, but I could be wrong. I'll check in a edit. There was Jack Monroe versus Katie Hopkins, which was great. There was Jeremy Corbyn against Ben Bradley, which was also great. And there's been a couple of cases that have been because somebody has said something online and it's been found to be defamatory. And at least in the UK, at least in England and Wales, So I'm assuming similar laws would exist in America because it's America, but it will probably vary state by state. So, unless it's a federal law, and I don't know if that's possible because some people will probably argue that it's infringing on the First Amendment right to freedom of speech. But then other people would say, well, no, that just stops the government business and all that stuff. I'm not American, so I understand that it gets a bit more complex than that. And I don't know enough about it, so I'm going to stop talking about it. But at least here in England and Wales, there are laws that regulate what you say online. So I think that the fact that he's never been able to involve the police or the justice system in any way means that there's probably no law been broken. He's probably not been a victim of a crime, and his attempts to paint like Snort Burnell as slanderous have come to nothing because they're not.
Okay. Now, all that being said, here's what happened over the last few weeks. Kevin Bernstein, for whatever reason, I have no idea, because I never really asked him, but I already talked about this previously, so I'll say it again. For some reason, he decided to try to get the ire of Only Iced Coffee. I don't know why. I really have no idea.
Maybe OIC was being an asshole to Kevin. I don't know. Maybe OIC took offence at something that Kevin said. Or Kevin took offence to something OIC said. It's hard to tell with your chat, but again, because it's your chat, you should know. You should be on top of it. And you should have asked Kevin why. Because OIC is one of your mods. And when you give someone modship and you are endorsing them and saying, yeah, this person is okay to be a mod, they, in return, expect guidance and support from you. Because you're the one that sets the rules and tells them how to moderate your chat. So they need to know what's acceptable behaviour, what's not. And not just from the chat regulars, but them as well. So if they do say something that's offensive and your chat complains, you say to the moderator, don't use that language. So you need to be on top of that as well. You should have known. Well, you should have asked at least. You should have dealt with the situation earlier. If you recognise that it is becoming a situation, and you did, because you said, I've talked about it before, then you should have said to OIC and to Kevin, what's going on, You should have asked Kevin or OIC why they were acting like that. And you should have said to Kevin, don't act like that in chat. And you should have said to OIC, that's not great behaviour for a moderator.
But he changed his name to like Only Iced Kevin. Then he changed his name to another variant of Only Iced Coffee's older name.
But people, there are other people that did it. There were other people in your chat on that day that Mike, sorry. There are other people in that chat on that day that had Only Iced equivalent names. There are people that had anything but hot tea, I think was the name. There were other people in your chat that were like that. So why didn't OIC have a problem with all of them? There have been people that have had Only Iced. I had it for a while. My Twitter name was Only Iced Steve, just to take the piss, because, it's Twitter, innit? Who gives a fuck? But there are people in that chat on that day that had Only Iced names. So why weren't you, why wasn't that a problem? Why weren't you calling that out? Why weren't you blaming them as well? Why wasn't Only Iced Coffee going after them? Why wasn't OIC antagonistic to them? It's not that's the issue.
And literally on stream, he started telling people, I am Only Iced Coffee. I don't know why he did this. Kevin, only you can answer this. Why did you do this? Why would you fuck with someone like that?
Why didn't you ask him that earlier? Why did you have to make that a public statement like this? Why didn't you sort of like message Kevin and say, you all right, mate? What's going on? Why are you doing this? Instead, it has to be here and now at this moment. You could have dealt with a situation earlier, and you should have dealt with a situation earlier, but you didn't, because that involves work and effort, and it involves keeping an eye on what your chat are doing, and it involves keeping an eye on what your mods are doing, and you couldn't be asked because you were more bothered with getting the money. So you were like, hey, I'm trying to have fun with this game here. Guys, pay attention to me, look at the game. Guys, it's been a really slow night for tips. Instead of dealing with this issue sooner. And because you didn't put that tiny little bit of effort in there, it's now ballooned into this. So a little effort there would have saved you all this effort now. But you're too lazy to do that, and now you have to do this.
I don't know. Okay?
Also, Kevin, explain your behaviour. It's your fault that this happened, so explain why. Fuck, victim blaming again.
I don't know why. But not a smart move. Okay? Seriously, not a smart move to do that. It's just not.
Why? Alright, granted, it's not a smart move to be an arsehole to anyone, but Phil, why wasn't that a smart move? Why was that such a bad thing? It wasn't a smart move to the point where it demanded an address to camera like this. Not a smart move. Why? Why do you have to be like that? Why? What does that say about OIC? Why, Phil? I've asked that question so many times recently.
You should not be harassing other viewers. And I actually outright came out about a week or two ago and I said, stop doing this. Don't change your names to try to be a parody of someone else or whatever. At the same time...
We remember the great Snow Carl purge. He's going to come to it later. I'll come to it later. So, yeah.
I said, I'm not going to start banning people for doing it. Just because you're changing your name to be like an homage or a parody of someone else's name, it doesn't mean that you're necessarily insulting them or riffing them, right? It's not like Kevin changed his name to Only Iced Coffee Sucks Monkey Butt.
All right, you came to it now. You literally banned everybody that had a Snow whatever name. And then when Snow Carl himself said that was fine, you ignored that. And then later on you banned Snow Carl because you were wound up because of all that other stuff. You banned everybody that's not Derek from having the Derek name. You banned everybody who spammed snowflakes. You banned people for... You did exactly that. This is fucking gaslighting on an industrial scale. This is Victorian era gaslighting, this. He literally banned people for having similar names or joke names or parody names to people in his stream. And more often than not, he'd ban them people as well. He would ban everybody with a Snow Carl inspired name. He would ban everybody with an Only Iced Coffee inspired name. He would ban everybody who tried to, take the, fair enough, taking the piss a bit. But, with Derek Ip as well. He bans people for this exact thing. And he is saying, I have never banned people for that. What a...
Then he would be banned. It was kind of just a silly thing. Anyway, I asked Kevin not to do it, and he ended up changing his name back, okay? Fair enough. But then, of course, what did that do? It caused a bunch of other people to then change their name to make fun of Only Iced Coffee. This is what happens on the internet. Everyone jumps on a bandwagon meme, and it became a meme for like a few days.
See? But when it was Snow Carl... Oh, dear. When it was Snow Carl, and they were liking Snow Carl and changing their name to join in with Snow Carl...
Okay? Now, here's the problem with this. It caused a big wave of drama. I've tried to ignore it and pay no attention to it, but sadly, last night it came to a head.
Maybe if you hadn't ignored it and it had instead dealt with it, it wouldn't come to a head. Like, that's how most people cope with things like this. They don't ignore them until they become problems. They deal with them and stop them being problems because they can recognise that it might be a problem. So, yeah. Telling Derek, hey, change your name back, isn't necessarily addressing it because you've not said, why are you doing this? Stop it. You've not actually addressed the issue, and you've not said, what has OIC done to deserve that behaviour? And then when Kevin's told you, you've gone, right, I'll deal with it. Because that's what normal people would do. But you haven't done that.
When Only Iced Coffee decided to drop into my stream, all right, and he's watching me play Halo, and multiple viewers directly confronted him and said, what do you think about Kevin saying he's you? You realize he's outright said on many different streams that he is you? And why is he doing that? And what are your reactions? So, of course, that's dramatic bullshit, right?
It sort of is, maybe. It might also just be a bit of fun, you know. But yeah, again, if you'd have dealt with the situation appropriately earlier, it wouldn't have come to this. So maybe this is on you, Phil, for not like telling your stream chat and telling your moderators, this is, don't do this, guys, grow up. But it's what comes up next, and
That's dramatic bullshit. Shouldn't happen, right? It shouldn't, but here we go. So, Only Iced Coffee responds in a way that I completely disagree with. I don't think he should have done this, okay? He basically says, well, I'm looking into this Kevin guy because I don't know who he is or why he's doing this, but I know for a fact that he lives in this state, and from the things that he's basically said in the stream chat, he takes a bus to work and stuff like that, and that's definitely not me, obviously. So I'm trying to figure out who this guy is and why he's doing this. Essentially, that's what he said.
Essentially, that's what he said. Phil has conveniently admitted the fact that OIC admits to going through previous streams to find everything that Kevin has said. Which is pretty bad. That's a really bad thing, right? That's not great behaviour. And sort of cutting the line there lessens the seriousness of what OIC has done. It's not that it's not a serious thing that he's done without that, because it is. Saying, I'm looking into this guy, he lives in this state and he takes a bus to work, is pretty bad. Because it does imply that you know stuff and you know more. You have got that stuff somehow. You don't just make it up, that you know it. It's a very heavily, not even heavily veiled, fuck it, no. It's a very heavy threat. It's a very heavy-handed threat, though. It's not a subtle thing. It's not a thing that could be open to misinterpretation. It's a very threatening thing that he said there, because it implies that you have sources of information and you're going to get more. And then he cuts off the fact that OIC is going through everything Derek has said on... Not Derek. Again, I keep getting mixed up. He's going through everything that Kevin has said on his streams. He's going to go back through all the archives and he's going to find everything that Kevin has said. That's a level beyond just doxing. Doxing is bad. Doing that is psychotically bad. This is a level beyond this. So cutting this out means you're just left with how it's still serious, but without the worrying level of the other. So that's a very dishonest thing he's doing there. He is softening the severity. He's reducing the severity of what OIC did because he doesn't want to have to get rid of OIC. And if you kept that in, he would have to. Because that's not a great thing for your mod. That's not a thing your mod should be doing. Doxing someone is not a good thing. And going through the chat history of every stream that Derek's been in and getting all of that is really, really worrying. Because it suggests a mindset that's unstable. It suggests a mindset that's obsessive and can focus because it's driven by malice and resentment. It's not a mindset that can make appropriate decisions and assessments and behaviours. It cannot really appropriately plan out the consequences of potential behaviours and evaluate them appropriately because it's so singularly focused on getting this thing. It's so obsessed with getting information on Derek. Not Derek, again. Kevin. I mentioned Derek before once. But yeah. I need to stop here because my medication alarm's about to go off. And it's been quite a while and I'm still not all the way through it. But I'm going to estimate this video is going to be another 3 hours. No, it won't be that bad. But anyway, yeah. Take a break here. Should probably clarify it was pain medication and not anything like antipsychotic. Just given like the context of what I'd been mentioning previously.
Now, when you say something like that on a stream publicly, that's creepy. I don't know if Only Eyes Coffee realizes that, but that's creepy. I'm looking into him. Oh yeah, I gotta look into this guy. Do you want to know why I think he said that? I'll tell you why I think he said that. Because he wanted to scare Kevin. Because he's pissed off. Because Kevin has been saying outright in my chat, I am Only Eyes Coffee, impersonating him. So he thought, oh, if I kind of like flex my internet muscles, I bully him a little bit and say, oh, look, I'm looking into you. All this information I found out that was public. By the way, all this information is public.
Victim blaming again. But to one side, because he's about to expand upon that. Is that not inappropriate behaviour for one of your mods? Should that mod not be punished for that behaviour? Because your mod is in a position of power and authority over regular stream chatters and, your subscribers like Kevin. That's not appropriate behaviour for a mod. Your mod shouldn't be threatening and bullying people. Your mod should be able to handle this sort of thing because your mods are the ones that moderate your chat. So they should be able to make decisions about behaviour like this. They should be able to make decisions about which behaviours are inappropriate and which behaviours aren't. They are supposed to conduct value assessments based on behaviours of other people and not engage in that behaviour themselves. They're supposed to be held to a higher standard than your regular chat because they're mods. That's how you stop them running amok, is by disciplining them more than you would the street one, not necessarily. Having better standards for them, having higher standards for them. That's what you do. That's what, that's how you control mods. You have higher standards for them and hold them to those standards. And it's not that difficult to not be a prick to someone if you're a mod. I'm a mod in a couple of chats. That's how I'm slowly consolidating my power amongst the detractor community. But seriously, it's not I don't think I've seen mods behave like OIC does. I don't think I've seen anyone really behave like that in any stream that I'm in. And I mean the main detractor ones, mostly. But yeah, that's not behaviour that's appropriate for a mod regardless. And you as the stream host, you as the person whose stream it is, are the one that should be saying this is not appropriate and punishing them. It's not enough to just say it. You need to punish them. You need to show people. I mean, you do this all the time. You punish other people to keep your chat in line. You should be punishing this mod.
This is not a doxing or anything. This is stuff that Kevin has said outright in my stream chat.
Much of the stuff that's in doxes when people are doxed is public information. It shouldn't matter that it's public information or not. The point is, your mod is going and collecting all of that for the purpose of exposing one of your stream chat members. That's not appropriate behaviour for a mod. It doesn't matter that Kevin has given all this information out by himself and it's all public. What matters is that your mod is going through the archives of your streams to find all of this information to put together to threaten a stream chat member. How is it not immediately obvious that that's inappropriate?
Over time, okay? But it's a scare tactic. He's basically like, stop fucking around, stop saying you're me, stop trying to impersonate me,
Yeah, it's a scare tactic, and it's one of your mods that's doing it.
Without saying it, that's essentially what he's saying, okay? I don't agree with this tactic at all.
Then punish the mod! If you don't agree with it at all, then punish the mod. Your sentence should be, I don't agree with this tactic, so I've told off OIC, or I don't agree with this, so I have done this to make sure it doesn't happen again. It should not be, I don't agree with this, but. Which it's going to be.
But it's not doxing.
There you go. He's minimising the thing that OIC did. He is telling you that while he doesn't necessarily agree with what OIC did, it's not as bad as you are all saying. It's not a doxing, even though by his definition that he gave at the start of this stream less than 10 minutes ago, it is doxing.
They will look for information as little and non-personal and as unharmful information you think it may be. They will look for little pieces and snippets of information to compile it together and then make it to hurt people. They'll compile things you've said over the internet for the past year and a half to make a profile on you and use that to try to find out who you are in real life and fuck with you.
Here it's not doxing.
It's basically just saying, listen, if you keep messing with me, I can mess with you. I don't like that. That's intimidation. That's you know, it could be perceived as a threat.
It could be perceived as a threat. It fucking well is a threat. It's not, it could be perceived as a threat. It is a threat. Telling somebody, I have your docs and I have information, and releasing that information by saying, I know where he lives in this state, I know what form of transport he takes to go to work, that's a threat. That is a threat. It's a threat, Phil. It's a threat. It's not a thing that's open to interpretation. It's not something that could be interpreted as a threat. It's a threat.
I think more it's a self-defense thing. I don't think Only Iced Coffee gives two fucks about Kevin.
If it's a self-defense thing, I can understand that OIC might have been pissed off. But that's not appropriate behaviour for your mod.
He just wants Kevin to stop saying that he's him. Okay? Now, what happens when this happens in my stream chat? First of all, I don't see it. I'm playing Halo.
He does see it. Here's a quick compilation of the amount of times that Phil looked at the stream chat while that was going on.
We'll see how this goes. Okay.
There's more kills than you're...
Someone sniped me. God damn it. Someone sniped me. Alright, here we go. Well, no one should be doxing anyone in my chat, and everyone should know better, and if this is true, someone's about to get fucking banned. It's that simple. So, I hope it's not true. Okay. Itchy. Ah. Head up here. Yeah, I'm no good with this gun. It seems good up close, but out for far, it's pretty hard to hit with, and then it overcharges right away, so you lose your shot. You gotta, like, get them right away with it. Okay. Okay.
Another one down! Keep that beam...
Okay. Oh, what the fuck? At least I got a kill. Right? At least I got a kill. Okay. Well, if we play Fallout 3 again, my plan is to play Fallout. Okay.
Eyes up!
How super chats been tonight? We had 4 of them. I think we were like $8. Walked through the gate and there's 4 guys already walking towards me shooting. Great spawn. Seriously? How does that make any fucking sense? He survives 2 point-blank shotgun blasts. And then instantly kills me. I can't kill him before... My own team's vehicle pushed me out into the open. I couldn't back up. I was trying to get behind cover, and the guy pushed me. What a fucking genius.
Air vehicle requisition.
Five and 8. Terrible. Oh, man. Do I even like Halo? I loved Halo on Halo 3. I did. I absolutely loved Halo 3.
Miserable.
Over the years I've played every
Just
Halo.
miserable.
I think Reach was good. But outside of that, no, I haven't really played Halo in a very long time consistently. So, can't say, no, I like it because I haven't really played it. Okay. So apparently Oblivion also just got a 60 frames per second update on the Xbox Series X. So there you go. Either Oblivion or, excuse me, Fallout 3 would probably make outstanding playthroughs then, right? Okay. Are the games I suck at but I love to play, asked Ben? Currently not really. Like, yeah, over the years there have been. There's some years I absolutely love playing, like Call of Duty or something, and I'm not great at it, but I still love playing it, you know. This year, it looks like both Call of Duty and Battlefield are duds, so, I mean, maybe Halo will be that game for me. I would say that in 2022, I would either play Fallout 3 or Oblivion, but it has to be one. It can't be both. You know, that kind of game, especially because you know how long it takes for me to get through those, months and months. So that would have to be like maybe a summer-long playthrough at 60 frames on the Series X would be great, but we'd have to figure out which one, and it can only be one.
Take down your targets quickly.
All right, here we go again. Right, I'm over here playing Halo, minding my own business, trying to get my ass handed to me, by the way, trying to learn the game. I don't know what's going on. I turn back to stream chat. All of a sudden, momentarily, everyone now is talking about, oh my God, did you see what OIC said? He doxed and he did this and he did that.
People tagged him. Someone tagged him. So he knew. He looked at the stream chat multiple times. So he knew. He did know what was going on. And he chose to ignore it and continue playing Halo rather than stop and address it.
Well, no one should be doxing anyone in my chat, and everyone should know better. And if this is true, someone's about to get fucking banned. It's that simple. So I hope it's not true. Okay.
Because arguably this is the thing that you should stop and address. I know I criticised him earlier for like stopping a stream to shout at people, but this is arguably a thing he should be stopping and addressing, you know? And he didn't. So he's lying to you already. He's gaslighting you. He's trying to make out like he's innocent in all of this and he had no idea. And it was a thing that happened directly in the stream and he couldn't really have controlled it and he couldn't have foreseen it. And, you know, he's not really at fault here. And he's, you know, he shouldn't be the one who gets any criticism for this. And he's the one who has to be a mature adult. And really, it's his fault because he didn't stop it. It's his fault because he didn't address it earlier in an appropriate way. And when it got to the point where OIC was threatening to dox a stream regular, he didn't step in and stop it.
I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what happened? Why is everyone going crazy over this? Right? So I don't know what's going on. And basically I say to the chat, guys, listen, I don't know what's happening. I'm playing Halo. I missed it. All right? I would be happy to look into this later.
No, I'm not even letting that slide. Someone tagged you in it. You knew. You looked at the stream. You knew. You mentioned it and told everyone to knock it off. You knew. It's not a case of like, I completely missed it. I have no way of scrolling back up through the chat to see what had happened. So I've completely missed it and I'm completely free of all responsibility. But if you want to, you know, deal with this in a mature, responsible, grown-up way, away from the stream, somewhere that's not public, then email me. And last night he was like, oh, for fuck's sake, you know I'm getting emails about this. I can guarantee you I've got emails about this. And now he's like, there are ways you could have contacted me and we could have sorted this out appropriately elsewhere. You know, we could have dealt with this. I'm sorry I missed it, but, you know, we can talk about it. When he knew. He knew and he did nothing.
And figure out what actually happened and we can address it at a future date. But I already said, doxing's not allowed on my streams. So if anyone's involved in it, you're going to be banned, and it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you're a contributor or not. It doesn't matter if you're a moderator or a regular viewer. Whoever did it, you're going to be out. I'm not putting up with this, okay? I'm just not.
I'm not putting up with this, apart from now, because it's OIC. I'll put up with it. He knew. Doxing isn't allowed on his streams, but it's alright, because this wasn't doxing. Just because, like, OIC didn't directly give out Kevin's address, it's not doxing. This is the same logic that's... I am not guilty of saying hateful slurs because I've never said the N-word. I've used other things that are slurs, but because I've not used the one thing that I consider a slur, I have not said any hateful slurs on my stream. This is the same logic here. This is the logic that Phil operates on when it comes to things like this. If I didn't literally do it, I'm not guilty of it. I know it looked like I'm doing this on purpose to keep the logo in shot. I promise I'm not. I wish I was sponsored. I would be over the moon if I was sponsored. I would not shut up about it if I was sponsored by LucasAid.
Now, I would have been nice if people would have been mature enough to say, oh, okay, I understand what's going on. Phil will look into it. Let's just continue to enjoy the stream. But of course, that's not what happens. Now people have completely been thrown into the drama vortex.
That is what happened, because for a short while, his stream did talk about it, and then they moved on to talking about the game for a while. It was over a period that wasn't that long, but later on it started up again because Kevin came back in and someone said, hey Kevin, someone's looking for you and has your docs, you know, they've got your details and they're threatening you. And Kevin started going, wait, what, really? Oh, fuck, shit. And started shitting himself on stream. That's why it started off again. But there was a period after OIC said, this is where he works, I'm looking into getting more info on him. And Phil told them to knock it off. There was a period where people were like, hang on, this isn't fair, this isn't right, this doesn't make me feel safe. And then gradually those voices drowned out as people started leaving the stream, and other people that were talking about the game and were trying to ignore it and get on with things carried on talking about the game. So there was a period where his chat moved on. This did not go on for a long and consistent an hour and a half. He is gaslighting you there as well.
So every comment in the stream chat is, oh my God, there's doxing. Did you hear about the doxing? Did you see the doxing? The doxing. So no one is paying attention to the stream anymore. And I'm not kidding you. Immediately people tuned out. People who were here to have fun with Halo didn't either stop paying attention or left. And the entire stream became about this for the rest of the night. Almost 90 minutes. It really angered me. Because this is an opportunity, the first opportunity I'm getting to play Halo in almost a week. I would be happy if someone would be, you know, telling me more about the game, trying to help me instead.
Oh, I can't lie, just before I paused it. Of course it angered him. It wasn't about him. Someone was going off about him. Someone else was carrying on. Other people were distracting and derailing the chat. No one was paying attention to him. That's the issue. He doesn't like having to deal with drama because it takes attention away from him. And he especially doesn't like having to deal with drama if it involves somebody who's given him $3,300 over the past 7 months.
Those people who were here for Halo left because they didn't want to be part of the drama. The entire stream was derailed. No one had fun, including me. It's can't have fun when I can't talk to my audience anymore.
I didn't have fun, you guys. This is how serious I am taking the issue of one of my moderators threatening and doxing one of my subscribers, because it affected me and how much fun I had. What do you say? What do you say at this point? Other than I've noticed that the light's not as bright as last time. I'm sorry. That was me. I didn't turn it up as high when I came back. Fuck.
And then on top of that, you know, it hurts the business. Because now people who were here to be positive and possibly contribute and support my business say, I don't want to be in this toxic environment.
Then do something about the toxic environment, Phil. Do something about it. Remove the thing that's creating it. The thing that's creating it is the fact that one of your moderators has threatened to dox a stream subscriber. But again, his perspective, it's hurt me. Not only am I not enjoying playing the game, not only can I not interact with my audience because everybody's talking about this thing, even though I could actually deal with it and then we could get back to playing the game, but it's also hurting me because people don't want to stay. People don't want to stay and give me money. They want to go because my moderator has created a toxic environment. And that hurts me. So it's perspective, again, it's hurting me. It's selfish because everything is so self-centered. That's, you know, amazed at how much it comes up. No, I'm not. I'm not amazed at all. I don't know why I said that. It's basically everything. Everything from Phil's perspective is, how does it serve me?
And they took off. All right? So literally, the first half hour of Halo was really good. And then immediately when this drama happened, everything got fucked up. For everyone. Everyone who was here for a positive stream and me being here trying to enjoy myself. Okay? Now, ladies and gentlemen, all right, I have to tell you something. I don't know if you realize this. I'm not a school teacher. All right? I don't sit here and I don't have a ruler in my hand and I don't slap your wrist and say naughty, naughty. I don't send you to the principal's office and hand you a pink detention slip for your behaviors here on my stream. This is ridiculous. I shouldn't have to act like a disciplinary adult on my fucking stream.
No, you shouldn't, Phil. But you have to. Because of one of your mods doing something that threatened one of your stream subscribers. I know I keep saying that, but that's because it's the heart of the matter here. It just so happens that mod gives you over $3,000 a year.
People who are here should have enough common sense to know you don't fucking impersonate other people. You don't try to piss off other people in the chat for whatever reason. You don't try to threaten people and be intimidating to people and shit like this. People should know better. But apparently, they don't. The vast majority of people on my streams are not children. But I swear to God, a lot of people act like it.
You patronising twat. People saying, Phil, your mod has doxed someone, and that's, not right, and it's not a really good environment here because I don't feel safe. It's not them acting up. For whatever Kevin did, where he wound up OIC, OIC should have been able to deal with that in an appropriate manner, considering that OIC is a mod and therefore has your tacit approval to behave a certain way. And OIC didn't. And people are saying OIC has done something really, really bad. And you're not doing anything about it. And the only conclusion that people can draw when they ask, why isn't Phil doing anything about it? Why isn't OIC being punished for what he's done? Is the fact that OIC gives you at least $3,000 a year. Fuck.
And it gets to the point where I gotta say something and react and respond to it, even though I don't want to. All right, I don't want to be talking about this right now. I don't want to be talking about this.
Well, then you should have dealt with it before. You should have dealt with it earlier, sooner, and in a more appropriate way. But you didn't, because you're lazy. And now you have to deal with this. You have made this bed. Don't complain that you have to lie in it.
This is shit. Seriously, this is bullshit. What the fuck? What does this have to do with my gameplay and the fun chill streams? Nothing. This is drama nonsense. If Only Ice Coffee and Kevin hate each other, they should go fucking deal with it outside of my streams.
You two people who meet and interact in my stream and have issues with each other because of the way you've both behaved in my stream should not deal with whatever you're dealing with in my stream. This thing has happened because of my stream. It has taken place exclusively in my stream. But I don't like it, so go and deal with it elsewhere. Arguably, it is your responsibility to deal with it. Because the fact that it's taken place in your stream and the fact that one of your moderators is involved means that you have to take this seriously. But he abrogates responsibility. He can't accept responsibility for anything. He just can't. He's clinically impossible for him. He's just too far gone. His narcissism is just too far developed. It's always somebody else's responsibility. There's always some other reason why it's nothing to do with him. There's always some excuse. There's always something else somebody else should have done.
I shouldn't see this. This is classroom bullshit. And I'm not putting up with it anymore. Okay? There's many things you can do if you don't like someone. Right? You can mute them so you don't see their messages anymore. Then you can't be pissed off by them because they don't exist. Right? That's one thing you could actively do.
That's, your Twitter approach, isn't it?
If you feel like someone's existence in a chat is so annoying to you, you can mute or block them and you don't see them. And then you don't have to deal with it, right? You don't. There's active ways to get around this shit. You understand? But people can't seem to act appropriately. So, it's this simple. My streams have a no doxing policy. If ever I see a true dox on my stream, you're permanently banned and you're never...
A true dox. There you go. He did it again. This thing that everybody is calling a dox is not a dox. So I don't have to punish OIC. Never mind that he behaved inappropriately anyway by threatening another stream member. Never mind that he acted like that and that is not appropriate behaviour for a mod regardless of whether or not any docs were released or like OIC posted Kevin's address or anything like that. Never mind that it's all that. The fact is, Phil doesn't think it happened, so He's not going to do anything about it. OIC acted inappropriately regardless of whether he was doxing Kevin or not, but Phil isn't going to do anything about it. And again, you should hold moderators to a higher standard because they have certain powers and privileges over regular stream chat members. I know. I'm sorry. We're nearly done, like another hour maybe. I don't know. I don't know why this keeps happening. Normal people, no, people who are appropriately socially conditioned, people who have, interactions with people offline. They have ways of evaluating things differently when it comes to situations like this and appropriately considering different outcomes so that if they encounter a similar situation in future, they can adjust their behaviour and act differently. Whereas he's remained consistent. People adapt their logical reasoning as they grow and develop and socialise more and more and have, wider experience of perspectives and ways of logical thinking that wouldn't necessarily occur to them by themselves. The more people you meet and the wider your social circle, the more understanding of other people's perspectives you will have, and the more things you'll be able to consider when you think, oh, how would I behave in a situation like this? Or what would I do if this happened to me? How would I handle this sort of thing? People adapt their methods of thinking as conditions change. But he just remains the same. He has one fixed point and that's it. He never deviates from it. It's astonishing to me that you can so heavily restrict a natural human impulse. Because we're all curious creatures, we're social creatures, we're curious. So it's amazing that he's just completely killed that inside himself, and he has to be pushed and cajoled and encouraged and made to do things differently. He's completely content doing the same thing until the end of time, and he doesn't deviate from the logic that keeps him there. It's amazing.
Coming back, and I don't care who you are. I mean that too. I absolutely positively mean that. The moment I see someone trying to lay down personal information about someone, you're out. You're done. Okay? Doesn't matter who you are. All right? In addition, I'm not going to allow harassment of stream members. This has happened many times when people try to impersonate a stream member.
You're allowing it right now.
Or give shit to a stream member. It's not allowed. Even though you may have other people on restreams and shit who make running memes about making fun of certain chat members, it doesn't fly on my streams. The moment I see it, you're out. I've been very lenient about this. No more. I'm
been very lenient about this. How many were there? There were 170 or 187 people banned by the end of that Snowcal thing. I'm so glad DDM had the DSP Institute powered there, because there were so many people banned on that night. I've been very lenient about it. Fuck you. No, you haven't. You are the opposite of this. You are outright lying to people now. And I know that most of the time you're bullshitting people anyway, but this is just bald-faced to you, bald-faced lie to your audience and to the people that watch you and give you money because somebody who gives you more money than most behaved a certain way and you'd rather side with them. I remember the Holocaust. I remember seeing people being banned left, right and centre. How fucking dare you? You do not get to gaslight people over shit like this. You shouldn't be gaslighting people anyway, that's a given, disclaimer and all that. But fuck me. This is Victorian era. Charles Dickens would have written about this sort of gaslight.
Serious. The moment you try to make fun of Derek for anything personal in his fucking life, the moment I see it, you're out of my stream permanently.
People were changing their name to Derek because it was funny. Because of the way you reacted. Because you completely flipped out. And then when it was with Snowcal's tacit endorsement and approval, In fact, not even tacit. He outright said, I'm fine with it. You started banning. With only iced coffee names. With all the ones that are only iced whatever. And some spin on like every hot tea. You know, things like that. Again, most of them get banned. There's a couple that fly under the radar. There's a couple that manage to stick around. Most of them will get banned. So how fucking dare you?
Gone. And I'm never unbanning you. Never. Because you don't deserve it, because you're a scumbag for harassing people online who did nothing wrong and don't fucking deserve it. So you think it's a funny meme? It's going to be really funny, because the meme's going to be even better when the meme is, your ass is banned from my fucking chat.
That's already a meme. That's already the meme. What do you think LIMB stands for? Because it's not describing one of these things. It's not describing like one of these. Or, you know, I can't lift my leg high enough. It's not a limb. It's an acronym. It means something. That's already the meme.
That's the funny meme. Okay? So enough is fucking enough with this shit. I'm not going to have people constantly be harassed. Okay? So, no impersonating other people. No harassing other people. None of this shit is allowed. No doxing. None of it. The thing is, this has always been the rules of my stream. This is not something new. This is not something amazing, groundbreaking, mind-blowing. This has always been. But people are so fucking dumb that they think that just because I don't mention it all the time or I'm lax about enforcing it, that means that it doesn't stand anymore.
He just said he was lax about enforcing the rules. He will call anything he doesn't like derailing the stream and then let loose with the banhammer. Cry derailment and let slip the banhammers of war. Just, I'm amazed that over like the nearly 2 hours that I've got now, just the amount of times there's been an outright lie. Even for DSP, even for Phil, even for somebody who has made his career bullshitting people into giving him money. The amount of lies that he's told in this is astonishing. There are more lies here than the debunk stream. He is just outright gaslighting and manipulating and straight up lying to people. He's deceiving people on such a scale here. And it's all because OIC gives him money.
Wrong. And I've had enough. This is the time of year when more people are attending my streams. We're playing GTA and having a fun time. We got holiday stuff coming up.
See, even there, you can't stop. Even there, we're all having a fun time. Lots of people are attending the streams, playing GTA. People aren't. Your stream attendance has been really low. I wonder if he really does believe this. I wonder if he really does. I think I argued in a previous video for him being an insecure narcissist. No, I argued for him being a delusional narcissist. I argued for him being the sort of narcissist who believes what he believes because he's bought into his belief that much, because I said that he's ended up believing his own bullshit. I don't think he does it for an insecure reason. I think he's genuinely like, actually, that might be worse. I'll add that into my next video. Yeah, I'll have like a brief little bit where I discuss that. But yeah, at this moment, I'm thinking he's genuinely delusional. I'm thinking he's lied so much that he's ended up believing it himself.
I'm not going to have people come in here constantly now to make it drama shit every single stream. I'm done with it. All right? So I apologize to everyone for last night because that stream was a toxic mess because of drama. It ain't happening anymore. All right? Now, there's something else I got to say because I'm so fucking tired of it at this point. I got to say it. To all the morons out there who are so fucking dumb that you've whipped yourselves into a fervor to believe something that's not true, allow me to clarify something. Only Iced Coffee is not the primary supporter of this channel. Only Iced Coffee is not the anonymous tipper who tips me behind the scenes and supports the streams. For example, 1 Minute Man and stuff like that. That's not him. All right? He's not magically supporting the stream with every tip with a different name. No. Last year, Only Iced Coffee was a very large supporter of this stream, and I'm very appreciative for the support that he gave this stream. okay? He helped me out a lot of times last year when things were very slow and things were bad, and I appreciate that.
Again, the lead up to, he's had to step away. He's had to reduce the amount that he gives. And that's fine. There's a lot to unpack there. I should have let him finish, sorry.
He dramatically slowed down contributions this year, all right? And that's fine. I'm not upset. People move on and people have other shit to do.
He is upset. You can tell. But I don't know why you bothered, because OIC has still managed to give you quite a lot. Maybe compared to everybody cumulatively, 3,000 isn't a lot. But for one person, 3,000 is a lot. And you could live off that for a bit. That's 2 or 3 months, depending on how frugal you are with stuff like shopping and going out. So, that's a not insignificant amount. And, it's difficult to prove that somebody has stock accounts, but it's also difficult to prove that they don't. The only way you could actually definitively prove that somebody didn't is if you had everybody in all of everybody in all of the accounts that people thought were him provide some proof that they weren't. Like they come on a live stream and go, yeah, no, hi, this is me. I'm not OIC. I really am 1 minute man. My name is, and that's a difficult thing to do. So I can see why people would have some sort of reticence to believe it. But I can see why people would also have some reticence to disbelieve it as well. Because it is a ridiculous thing. But it's also completely reasonable. That's the thing. On the surface, it seems ridiculous, sure. But given that this is Phil, and we know how much he lies about things, and we know how erratic and irrational at times OIC's behaviour has been, it's not completely implausible. And you see, that's the thing with like forensic stuff. When you're considering like testimony and evidence and what's plausible and what's not, that's what matters, is how do you prove it either way? And you've not really done much to disprove it. Whereas there's more evidence to suggest that it is. So hiya, Phil. I'm one of those morons who has a forensic psychology degree. And I'm younger than you.
And or can't afford to support, and that's fine. I'm not asking for that. I was grateful when he was supporting the channel the way he was. But what I've seen is systematic harassment of people say, oh, every contribution is only iced coffee. Everything. So the idiotic things that are being said, like, see, Phil will not ban only iced coffee for what he did last night because he is the primary supporter of the channel. If he does this, Phil can't keep his business afloat anymore.
Not necessarily the primary. I could imagine that there's always somebody else tipping behind the scenes and keeping it quiet. But he's a major source of revenue for you. That's the thing. He's a major source of revenue. For as much shit as Snowcarl got away with, Snowcarl only ever donated in dollar increments. Snowcarl never gave a substantial amount. Cumulatively, it might have been a bit... I should have checked that, actually. I'll go back to the tips tracker in a bit and check. But Snowcarl mainly donated in $1 increments. I think only a couple of times he donated $2 or $3. So it's the fact that only IC gives you significant amounts that total up to a significant percentage. That's the issue.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you believe that, you are a fucking idiot. You are actually, genuinely, certifiably, objectively stupid.
I can use my forensic psychology degree to say no, you're not. So if you believe that, you're not stupid. I hate it when he does this. I hate it when he's like, if you believe this distractor thing, then you are an idiot. Because it's like, you have not provided very good evidence to support your claims at all. ever. The most recent amount of evidence we've had to prove one of your claims is a piece of paper on which you hand wrote a bunch of bills. That's a really piss poor level of evidence to support your claims and to disprove others. Anyone can do that. Anyone can write a list of things that they've got to pay for. Everybody has to pay for stuff. But most people just earn their wage and that's it. You make your money publicly by having the amounts that you're making flash up on the screen like one's doing right now. So when you do that, it's not difficult for people to add all that stuff up. You can even just write a piece of software that automatically does it for you and then generates a spreadsheet, you know. So people know how much you earn. So you writing down that you've got, you know, this much food, this much rent, this much for your car, this much for your taxes and all that stuff. There's still a big chunk left, and people want to know where that goes for, where that goes to, because it all came from you going, guys, I need help with my bills. People are giving you money under the assumption that it's going to help you pay for your rent and your food and your electric and all that. They're not giving it you on the assumption that it's going to pay for a Hogan JPEG to be pulled later that night when you're on the toilet. But a lot of it does. And we know that a lot of it does because you had your identity stolen and that was in the information that was leaked. And you said you had your identity stolen. So the leaks must be true. But apparently if you think that, you're the one that's an idiot. It's much easier for you to believe that Phil's identity was stolen, but the information that they took wasn't real. If you believe that, you're not an idiot. If you believe that OIC gathering all this data and threatening Kevin isn't doxing, then you're not an idiot. I hate it. I hate when he's like this. This man sits in his house 6 days a week. He doesn't go out. He doesn't socialise with many people. He has a relationship with his wife where he sees her for like an hour a night and that's it. They get 1 day off a week and they spend most of that time shopping and paying bills and things. He is in no way, shape or form in any position to make judgments on whether anybody else is stupid. He left his webcam on when he was having a quick wank. He thought it was a good idea after doing a pre-stream to have another pre-stream. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry, but I used that joke on Twitter. No, I wasn't in a comment. It was in a comment somewhere, and I just thought there was a bit more mileage in it. But the man thought it was, you know, he came to his job, started up the stream, told everybody, right, I'll be with you in a minute, and thought, what am I going to do in this period? I thought, I'm going to have a wank. And then I'm going to go right back to playing the PlayStation. He thinks you are stupid. You're in no position to call anybody else stupid, Phil. I'm sorry, but you know.
There is no evidence of that because it's not true. He has barely been around this year.
He gave you $3,000 this year, at least. $3,326 this year, at least. Just on one account. It doesn't matter that he's barely been around. What matters is that he's giving you a lot of money. He might not be in chat every day, but he's giving you a lot of money.
He was moderating at one point, and since he stopped being a moderator, what do we see him? Once or twice a week at most? Admittedly, he did one large tip recently, I believe, which was very nice of him to help out on a night stream that was very, very slow. And he said the reason he did that was because he's been watching all of my videos on demand on YouTube, and all the playthroughs I've been doing recently have licensed music in them, which means I make no ad revenue on them. So he's like, hey, I want to help out because I am watching your content, and here's a way to make up for the fact that I'm not giving you ad revenue when I watch the videos. And that was very nice. But outside of that,
there's still another $3,100 to account for outside of that.
There was no, I mean, you know what I'm saying? But these idiots literally think he's here every stream and every contribution is here.
Even putting aside all of the sock accounts, The one OIC account has given you over $3,000. Even putting aside that one exceptional tip that's because you don't get money because you've got ad revenue, because you've got the music on, so all your videos on YouTube get claimed. Even though you're begging in stream, during the stream, for money because of that as well, he has still given you over $3,000 this year alone. Don't think he's there every stream, but he's giving you a shit ton of cash.
Kevin Bernstein actually tipped me, and people will say that's only iced coffee. People will say that Rob on Wheels is really only iced coffee. 1 Minute Man is only iced coffee. Ladies and gentlemen, Tarantula just tipped me $10. They'll say that's only iced coffee. Why? Because they're fucking stupid. There's no other explanation.
There is an explanation. OIC has a lot of sock accounts. That's easy to believe. It's easier for me to believe than everybody else in the detractor community being stupid. Because I know they're not. I talk to them.
They have this crazy, obsessive, compulsive, weird groupthink mentality.
Ah! Groupthink is a process. It is a continually happening sequence of things. It is when you have a social group, such as a business hierarchy, which is where the concept comes from. Irving Janis's look into business hierarchies and how businesses make decisions. But it can apply to any social group. A 4-person band, probably. Well, 4 people arguing. My band, basically. But, a creative endeavour, say like an orchestra with one designated leader at the top. A business, a construction company, anything, people shoot a film crew. Anything where you have a hierarchy and a system of authority that culminates with one person, you can apply groupthink to. You can apply it to social groups as well, but typically it's applied in situations where there's a hierarchy and there's a person at the top, because it's the person at the top who gets to designate the norms and values that everybody else adheres to. And it's a process when that group is making decisions, and instead of that process is when the people in that group are making decisions and they do not consider other perspectives or ideas or suggestions or advice, because there is an overwhelming pressure to conform to the way things are going currently. There is an overwhelming pressure put on the members of that group to agree with the designated leaders' norms and values and opinions and decisions. And it's a failure of the leader to consider the alternative views and perspectives and advice that have been brought to him by his subordinates, his assistant managers, and the people who manage other things. And they're the ones who are supposed to bring the concerns of the company and the people that are working for them up to him when decisions are being made. And they don't do that. There's an inability to do that. Not necessarily a failure to do that, but an inability, because the cost of doing that is usually social. It's normally being made to look like a fool or being excluded or fired. It's a process when a group cannot make decisions because they cannot consider alternatives, and therefore they end up making bad decisions. What he's describing is conformity. What I'm describing is Phil's chat.
That everything that they say is true just because they all say it. They all drink the Kool-Aid, and they're that dumb. They've actually whipped themselves into a fervor, okay, about this guy, all right? And it sucks because I don't want to deal with it. I'm someone who's just here to have fun, put out a stream. Quite frankly, I don't care who supports my streams.
We know you don't care who supports your streams, because all you care about is the fact that they're giving you money. But you don't get to go, I want to ignore this, I don't want to deal with this, I just want to get on with things, I'm only here to play games. Because it's your stream. It's your stream chat. They're your mods. You pick who gets to be a mod, and you are the one who says, these are the rules, this is how you can enforce them. These are the behavioural standards that you adhere to as a mod, you know? Even if I'm sure only Ascot uses, but either way, the fact that he was a mod previously and still has this social status of being seen as superior because he once was a mod and he was close to Phil, and he's still close to Phil. He's higher up in the hierarchy. So when decisions are made, he's one of the people who gets to say, this is how it is from above. This is the norm and the standard that we're all adhering to now. This is how we're doing things now. He's the one who gets to enforce that. So he's culpable when groupthink is happening. But you're the one who's supposed to say, don't do it like that, do it like this. And you're the one who's supposed to punish people when they don't. Your mods can punish the ones below them, but you're supposed to punish the mods as well. And when you don't, when you don't sort of like say to the people, stop it. Because again, I'm pretty sure there were no mods. I'm pretty sure there were no mods that night because he says so. So yeah, I'll go with that. I'll believe him on that one time. But I'm only believing him because I've seen evidence. I watched his stream chat. Well, I skimmed through it. Anyway, yeah. The fact that he is the one who is supposed to be enforcing the behavioural standards and didn't, and by not punishing, OIC has tacitly endorsed that sort of behaviour, or said it's okay for that sort of behaviour to happen in my stream, has made everybody else scared. And everybody else is bringing their complaints and concerns and their issues to him. They are suggesting ways he can deal with it, and he is shutting them down, and he is disciplining them, and he is ignoring them. And that is groupthink. It is a failure to consider other opinions and to enforce incredible social costs on the people that do bring it to you. Because you're trying to make them all conform to your way of doing things. And through your mods and through the people who used to be mods and are seen as elevated in the eyes of the stream, you are doing that. That's how you facilitate your norms being, proliferated throughout your stream. You tell them how to behave. And when they don't, you're supposed to punish them. But instead, this person who is seen as having privileged status in your stream behaved in a way that warranted punishment, and he didn't get any. And people are upset with that. I'm sorry, I can't let the groupthink go. It really does my head in. It really does my head in. Like, it's a psychological concept, and he gets it wrong every time. I think he's heard the term and assumed it means one thing, but it actually means another. It doesn't mean conformity. It's a process. It's not a condition.
Okay, I don't. All right? I don't have a running tally. I seriously don't have a leaderboard or a running tally. Oh, look, the biggest contributor did this and that.
You've got a leaderboard right up there. It is right there. It says top tip. One of the comments on my last video was that Phil could argue there was a round earth and people would rush to join a flat earth society. He's literally sat under a leaderboard telling you he doesn't have a leaderboard. He used to have that stream. He used to have that slide that was Ryu stages Street Fighter 2, and he used to have like top tips. He used to read them out. He's literally sat under a leaderboard, and he's told you he doesn't have a leaderboard. He's told you he doesn't keep track of the top of the person who tips the most under the words top tip. I just Oh my god. Oh my god. Come on, we're getting close to the end now. Come on. You can do this. You can do it under 3 hours. Come on.
I don't have that. People say all the time, who was your biggest tip ever? I don't remember. Goes to Jason, what was the biggest tip I've ever received ever? I want to argue $2,000. It could be slightly more than that. I think actually there may have been one that was like 21 or 2,200 at one point. But I know at least a couple of years ago, there was a $2,000 tip that came in during a stream. I know that for sure. But I think that was about the record. So, yeah.
Derek, no, definitely not the most I've ever gotten on a stream before. I had a stream where multiple people gifted $1,000. This was last year. It was a stream where, like, I raised $1,000 and then someone else gave $1,000, which was insane. And I think the biggest tip I ever got was $2,000. I could be wrong there, but I think the biggest tip I ever got in one go was $2,000. It's the biggest tip I ever got. Man, I know it was more than $1,000. I think once I received a $2,000 tip, that might have been the biggest one. I think. I don't think I ever got a bigger one than $2,000.
I don't think of it that way. I think of it that we're a community.
He got $1,000 recently. Within the last 7 months, he got $1,000. I'd remember that. I'd remember someone giving me $1,000. You'd remember that name.
We're a community of people who are all here chilling together, having a good time with games. And people support that effort because they want to see it continue. That's why they're here. That's why they contribute.
It was Jax. I think it was Jax Raxa. He got $1,000 off Jax Raxa recently.
And special shout out honor to Jax Raxer with an insanely generous tip that he dropped earlier. I really appreciate that. And he requested that we start off tonight with Tyrant Slaughter, Big Papa Smurfurian, so we're doing it.
We can remember shit like that.
They like what I put out. They like the product. They want to see this community effort and continue. They like the enjoyment. You see what I'm saying? So because of that, they come by and they contribute. That just because you contribute doesn't mean that you're up here in my mind. Just because you can't contribute financially or anything like that doesn't mean that you're down here and you're at the bottom of the barrel. That's ridiculous. Maybe some content creators think that way, but I don't. I never have.
Call it bullshit. You remember the names of people who give you a lot of money. You notice them in chat and you say hi. That's how people like Snowcal got their names in your head. Kept giving you money. So you do remember it.
I don't think of anyone that way at all. Listen, I'm appreciative of what Only Iced Coffee has done for me in this channel.
Didn't he? I'm sure somebody hadn't contributed recently and he was like, I was worried because I hadn't seen you for a while. He remembers shit like that. He's outright lying to your face when he says he never thinks of people like that, because he does. Fucking ridiculous, man.
That doesn't mean that he's above reproach. That doesn't mean that he's protected. Basically, last night, after how he acted in here, he's basically on thin ice now. Like,
he's on thin ice now. He threatened to dox one of your stream subscribers. He said, I know what state you live in. I know how you get to work. I'm looking into you. I'm going to go back through the chat of every stream that you've had and find everything I can about him. And your response is, he's on thin ice now. Why is he still here? How is that okay? There's no punishment there. There's a wagging of your fingers there. There's you kids, you get on out of here. There's nothing there. How fucking dare you? How fucking dare you say you've taken care of the problem when you've done fucking nothing?
Come in here and threaten people. And I do feel, after rereading the logs and everything, he didn't dox Kevin, but essentially what he did is he was trying to be an tough guy.
He didn't dox Kevin. You literally define doxing as people gathering like all this disparate information together and threatening other people with them. And he did that. He did exactly that. But it's not a true doxing. He didn't post Kevin's street address. So it's not a true doxing. But he is on thin ice now. I don't... How can you not... The fuck... Oh, God. Come on. You can get... Once you're through with this, you can get back to editing. Come on.
Oh, look at this. I'm keeping an eye on him and whatever. It doesn't fly. I'm not going to let people threaten each other. At the same time, Kevin is kind of the creator of this situation.
Victim blaming again. Victim blaming again. That's what, the third or fourth time now. Was he asking for it, Phil? Was he asking for it? What was he wearing?
Okay? Because he did this. Because he has outright been saying in the chat, I'm only iced coffee and trying to cause drama with only iced coffee. So this is so dumb. Really, this is so dumb. It's the dumbest, most immature high school fuck drama thing. And I got to spend a half an hour on stream today talking about it, right?
Look at him denigrating that. Look at him try to reduce the impact of what OIC has done. It's not a serious thing that somebody who, mod or not, has seen in like really high regard in this stream and has seen as privileged and elevated above the others because of the fact that they give you a lot of money, has behaved in a way that has involved threatening another subscriber with releasing private information to the point where other people in the chat are like scared and uncomfortable and worried. But and he's describing that as high school shit. And he's calling it dumb. It's your responsibility, Phil. It's your stream. You are culpable for all this because you've allowed it to go on. You've not dealt with it earlier. You've not said to either one of them, knock it off. You know, you've not punished either one of them. That's the problem. You've not punished them since. Arguably, I wouldn't have let Kevin, experience any punishment because, asshole or not, it's OIC that shouldn't have reacted to this. It's OIC who's the one who's like, I know private information about you and I'm going to release it. Where's the punishment for that? He's on thin ice. That's the punishment. What does that mean? What does that entail? What consequences has he suffered? What reparations must he make? How is he behaving from this point forward? Is he saying sorry to everyone? Is he apologised to Kevin publicly? Has Kevin apologised to OIC for starting it all and being responsible and asking for it? Fucking call of the man.
For what? For fucking what? So it's this simple. All right? It's this simple. I'm not putting up with it. I'm just not. Okay? I'm not putting up with it. If I see it, it's over.
You're not putting up with it, but you're still going to let OIC chat. He's still allowed to be in your stream. You've not banned him, basically. You're not putting up with it, but you're also not punishing the person responsible for a climate of fear and concern amongst your stream chat. That's fine. You'll let that carry on. It's all right.
I don't care who you are. And you're not above reproach, you're not above the rules. No one's above the rules, okay? So understand that.
You're not above the rules, but it's all right. I'll tweak them a bit. I'll define them slightly differently when somebody that is favoured and seen as privileged breaks one. And I'm not using privilege in that way. I mean privileged as in just simply above, seen as above somebody else. I'm not implying white or class or like financial. Even though you could really, in this case, couldn't you? You could say he's seen as financially privileged because he financially privileges Phil. But yeah, I just mean like within that community, OIC is recognised more as just than a regular streamer. And along with that comes certain benefits and, it changes the way people act around you, So he is privileged in that context. Just wanted to define that as well. But yeah, it's fine. You're not above reproach. You're not above the law. But I as the one who gets to define it, can and will tweak the definitions as I see fit. So saying this person lives in this state and takes, the bus to work, and that you're going to be looking into him and you're going to be collecting all the information that you can about him, and you're going to be going through all the previous streams to find everything he said in the chats and collecting that together, that's fine. Because it's not doxing. You didn't publish his street name, so it's not doxing. Because that's my definition of doxing. My definition of hate slurs is only one word.
If I see harassment, I will enforce the rules of this stream. no matter who you are. Okay? In reaction to last night, I missed it.
You didn't miss it. You didn't miss it. You knew, you saw, people told you.
I didn't get to see what was actually happening live because I was playing Halo. If I had seen it, I probably would have reacted in a different way when it was live.
You didn't. You saw it and you reacted a certain way.
Well, no one should be doxing anyone in my chat, and everyone should know better, and if this is true, someone's about to get fucking banned. It's that simple. So I hope it's not true. Okay.
You didn't react like this. You didn't take any like firm steps to stop OIC from behaving in the way he was behaving. You let it happen because you knew, and you just couldn't be bothered dealing with it.
And I probably would have said, hey, stop it immediately because I'm not putting up with this shit. I didn't know what happened because I didn't see it.
People told you. People told you, and after the stream you were like, oh, I'm going to get emails about this, because people had emailed you as well. You knew. You saw it, and you knew. People tagged you in it. And later in that stream, you say, I will talk to people when they tag me and stuff.
Okay? So it is what it is. Okay? It is what it is. I'm sorry. I really am. I gotta apologize to all of you who have nothing to do with this situation. You're here to chill and have a good time.
He's not apologising for the fact that one of his stream regulars, because now I'm like questioning myself on whether OIC is a mod or not. Sorry, and I'm also a bit uncomfortable. He's not apologising for what happened. He's apologising for the fact that he's had to talk about it. He's apologised for anybody who came here today to this stream expecting a regular pre-stream where Phil talks about the video game news. He's not apologising for the people... Sorry, not apologising to the people who are worried and concerned about the fact that OIC did this thing and he might do it to them as well. And he's not apologising to the people who are worried and concerned that OIC did this thing and he's not been banned. Even though it's a really bad thing that he did. He's not been banned. And he's not really experienced any punishment either. He's just on thin ice. He's not banned. He's not on like any sort of probation or timeout. He's not been given like a week off like Snow Carl might have been for saying, yo, Phil, it's fine, really. But he's apologising for the fact that he's had to deal with it. He's apologised for the fact that it's caused some disruption, even though he's responsible for the fact that he didn't cause any disruption because he didn't take care of it sooner. And he could have picked a different way to handle this, and instead he's whining like this, and he's giving these two a public telling off.
A lot of people came out for Halo last night. We had almost 300 people plus on a late stream, which is a rarity to have that many people on a late stream.
Oh, just think about that for a minute. 300 people on a late stream is a rarity. Just sort of like really let it sink in. As detractors, it's hilarious. It's great. You love to see it. But imagine if that was your life. Imagine if you had to beg people for a living and 300 people turning up was your life. And I know, like in my previous video, I said there's people who, you know, struggle to get tens of viewers, and you know that they should have help from YouTube because that's what he was going on about at the time. But it's like they weren't at a peak that Phil was. They didn't have thousands of people previously attending their streams. You know, they have never been at that height. They've always, you know, they started off like this, and you know they're still struggling and clawing their way up. He's been at the top, and now he's here. 300 people is a rarity on a late stream. It's not a life I'd want, I don't think. Yeah. I wouldn't like to deal with that. Because the downfall would be on me. You know. But yeah, I'm sorry that 300 people turned up to see Halo and what they instead saw was one of my stream regulars threatening to harass and dox another stream regular. And I didn't do anything about it.
And everyone has to put up with this stupid shit. Like, what the fuck is going on? And I agree with you. I was just as upset about the whole situation, okay? So, it's that simple. No more bullshit. It's not going to happen anymore. If I see it, I'm going to take care of it. I apologize that it even happened last night, and I hope you'll accept my apology for the ridiculous drama and derailment of the stream.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't accept that apology. There's no apology there. You're not saying, I'm sorry that one of my former moderators, former moderator, I'm sorry that this person that I seen in high regard in the stream behaved a certain way. I've taken care of it. He's not going to be here anymore. Or he's not going to be here for a while. I've given him a bit of probation. So, nothing like that. He's experienced no consequences. And people aren't going to be happy with that because he actually created an environment where people weren't feeling comfortable or safe. People were worried and concerned. And your response was, knock it off, you guys. I'm busy playing Halo. And then later on, you were like, all right, fine, I'll deal with it tomorrow. Now that I've had emails and people complaining. In fact, his first response was, you assholes, look what you've done. You've ruined this stream. I'm going to have people complaining about this.
All right, so I'm going to say this right now. I don't know what the fuck you guys were thinking tonight with this derailment of the chat. I was trying to be nice because there's no moderator, so I'm trying to be nice and not fucking moderate. But you guys just take it to the extreme. Like, okay, so earlier tonight, supposedly Only Iced Coffee came in here and said a few things about Kevin. That could be disturbing because it sounds like he's tracking him or something. I don't know. I didn't see it. Well, no one should be doxing anyone in my chat, and everyone should know better. And if this is true, someone's about to get fucking banned. It's that simple. So I hope it's not true. And there's no, I don't have logs or nothing, right? Okay. What did I say in the chat? I said, all right, that's going to stop immediately. Because if it's really happening, I'm going to ban whoever it is. And I don't care. I don't care who it is. If it's Only Iced Coffee or not, if you're doxing someone, you're out of here. Permanently. You're never coming back. Don't ask for an unban. It's completely against the rules and everyone fucking knows that. You guys didn't have to fucking talk about it for an hour and a half. I'm honest. You guys pissed me the fuck off tonight. Anyone who just wanted to sit here derailing my chat, I'm trying to enjoy Halo Infinite. And every time I look, it's like, doxing. Shut the fuck up. This is my place of business. It's not time for you to sit here and unwind with drama shit all fucking night like you're 4-year-olds. And there was about a dozen people who did it. And I was very lenient. I didn't even ban a single person for it. All right? Tomorrow, if this happens again on stream, you're gone for good. I'm not putting up with your bullshit. I'm trying to have fun on a stream. How am I supposed to entertain my stream when every time I look at the stream chat, everyone's derailed the stream chat for their own bullshit? Right? Everyone knows that doxing is against the rules everywhere. So why the fuck are we sitting here talking about it constantly? Shut the fuck up. If you really have an issue, you email me behind the scenes. I'll look into it. Right? I can't do that when I'm on a live stream playing a game trying to entertain an audience. This is common sense, but a lot of you apparently don't fucking have it. And now I've had it. I'm not putting up with this bullshit anymore. I'm trying to have fun and entertain an audience, and I can't do that. I guarantee you, I will get emails tonight. I probably have a couple right now of people who are going to say, Phil, it was a very disturbing night because, yeah, this happened with the supposed doxing, maybe not, and then everyone talked about it all night and could enjoy the stream. I guarantee you, I'm going to hear about it. All right? No better. I mean this, like, seriously. No better. That's not something, and by the way, do you think it gets better because you keep talking about it for an hour and a half? Do you think that magically fixes it? No, it makes it worse. All is like a bunch of kids, little fucking high schoolers, gossiping in a corner. Only it's my stream. It's not the fucking corner of school. And now anyone who was here to enjoy Halo couldn't enjoy it because you guys had to fucking derail the stream all night. You know better. Really, you do. You know better. But I was nice. I didn't fucking ban nobody. I didn't. Here we are, because here's the perfect example. If people were engaged, talking about Halo, having a good time, probably I could have concentrated a little more, maybe did a little better. Hey, you know what? Maybe some people would have had a better time. Maybe I actually would have made a few more contributions too. You don't understand that it actually hurts me when you sit here in my chat and you derail it. It does. It 100% hurts everyone. The people who want to be here to chill, it hurts me and my business. It hurts everything. That's why I'm concerned. It's not, listen, no one's going to get doxxed. It's that simple. If I see it, it's a permanent ban. All right? If someone provides evidence that something happened, permanent ban. I don't care. Really, zero tolerance for that shit. Zero. No one ever is going to get doxxed in my shit, ever. It's just not going to happen, okay? So rest assured, it'll get taken care of. You don't have to sit here and talk about it for 90 fucking minutes. Really. Really. Okay? So it's that simple. No more. Tomorrow, I see a single person talk about it, instant ban. You already derailed the whole fucking night stream. That's enough for me. That's enough bullshit for me. It better get back to normal tomorrow. Seriously. And I'm going to have a word with the moderators about it because there were no moderators here tonight. I'm going to let them know that this happened tonight so they know what to look out for tomorrow. Because if people start fucking talking about it, you're out of here. Done. Done. I'm just not. You know? I'm not putting up with that shit. This fucking idiot. Get the fuck out of here. Jesus Christ. Fucking moron. Okay.
And now he's like, I'm sorry I've had to deal with this. I'm sorry I've had to talk about this. I'm sorry that I let this thing... Not even I'm sorry that I let this thing happen. I'm sorry that this thing happened. Not that I'm sorry I let it happen. Not that I'm sorry I haven't dealt with it. Not that I'm sorry that it took so long to deal with. I'm sorry that I let you see it happen. But don't worry, it's fine. OIC's on thin ice now. So I'm sure he'll be fine. I'm sure he'll be different. I'm sure things will have changed and you can all come back to enjoying the game and giving me money.
I'm laying down the law. Both Only Iced Coffee and Kevin, you guys either got to squash it or shut the fuck up about it. Because I'm not going to see this again. If I see it again, the two of you going at it or saying shit about each other, you're both out of here. In my eyes, you know, there's no right and wrong. You know what I'm saying? They're both wrong.
Then do something about it. If they're both wrong, make them face some consequences. That's the point. You didn't. You've not punished anyone. You've not punished OIC. You've not punished the one responsible. Kevin might have been a dick, but OIC shouldn't have reacted like that because it's well out of order. OIC should have been the one to click mute. OIC should have been the one to click ignore this user. Instead, he threatened to dox the user and reveal private information. Instead of ignoring him, like you suggested people should. Instead of doing that, he said, I'm going to go through all the other streams to find as much information as I can about him. So, Kevin might have been an asshole, but OIC, holy shit.
Because Kevin was the one who instigated Only Iced Coffee, then Only Iced Coffee makes kind of a veiled threat, and it's like, what the fuck, dude?
Wasn't veiled. There was no way that is veiled. There's no fucking way was that veiled.
How about, instead of the nonsense, how about we all just fucking behave, right? And have a good time with games, which is the point of my streams, right? Right?
No. No.
Okay.
Stop. Don't be all like, right, guys? Right? Yeah, we good. Great. Yeah, let's move on. Because it's not okay. You're not finished. You're not done. You've still got to punish somebody. And holy shit, another incident, victim blaming. Kevin started it, he instigated it. So what? OIC's response was wildly disproportionate. Give Kevin a week of probation and give OIC a month or a year. I fucking dare you. But you won't. Because he's responsible for a not insignificant percent of your income. Through at least one account. I'm going to do you the privilege of assuming that OIC only has one account. But that one account is giving you a lot of money and people see it. So when something like this happens, when that person who gives you a lot of money threatens to collect information on one of the stream regulars that they've had a disagreement with and release that information to the point where they're saying, I'll go back through previous streams, you need to punish that person because people see that person acting like that and think, why isn't he being punished? And the only reason they can think that makes sense is, oh yeah, he's responsible for a not insignificant percent of Phil's income. So you're not done. You can't go, right guys, it's over, I've dealt with everything, I've addressed everything, that's fine, everything's cool. Line in the sand, let's move forward. You're looking forward to tonight's stream. You don't get to do that because you're not done. Fuck the amount of lengths that this man will go to abrogate responsibility and not accept that he's responsible in some way or take charge in some way or just deal out consequences like that. Fuck. I feel sorry for the amount of time Snowcarl's got like humiliated and banned considering what OIC's gotten away with. For every detractor in the DDM streams that used to be a fan of Phil's, I feel like I want to apologise to you for whatever it was that made you think I'm fucking done. Because what OIC is, holy shit, I would have left. I would not be a fan of Phil's anymore following this. Imagine someone like that. Imagine that was the mod of one of your favourite streamers. Fuck. The fact that he's not been punished in any way, shape or form just astonishes me. He gets a wag on the finger. He gets a "you're on thin ice." What does that entail? How does he have to change? What does he have to do to not be on thin ice? Does he have to wait a while? Does he have to keep his head down? Is he not allowed to do certain things, or, you know, use certain channels? I've banned you from the Discord. Anything like that? Does he just have to give you another grand?
Oy, oy, oy. It really just, it gives me a headache. And yeah, 672. I know for some reason, I guess you and Peter T have had some kind of a grudge against each other too. I don't know, because I ignore it. So I don't even know what's going on, but I've noticed kind of a little bit back and forth between you guys too. I need you to stop with this shit. Really, I do. I need you to stop with this nonsense.
Stop them yourself. You're the streamer. Take some responsibility. Grow up. Act like a fucking man. Grow some balls, Phil. I wouldn't normally go for heteronormative insults, but I feel like Phil is so thin-skinned that it's the sort of thing that would really wound him a lot. So, yeah, fucking man up, Phil. Be the one who says, "I'm done, you're banned," considering how ban-happy you are the rest of the time. Fucking deal with it. Maybe you should know, maybe you should be paying attention, because it's your fucking stream. They're your stream members.
I can't have this. This is my, like I said, what it is people see someone playing games and they, oh, let's cause drama, it's silly. No, this is my place of business. Again, this would be the equivalent if you walked into my restaurant and two people got into a giant screaming fight and had two crowds of people causing a scene inside of the restaurant. No, you all get called the police, throw them out. Problem is there's no police, right? There's no police on the internet to deal with this shit. So instead, I got to deal with it on a case-by-case basis.
You would ban them people from your restaurant. If two people in your restaurant started screaming at each other and then one threatened the other and assaulted them, and then a big argument broke out with loads of people on either side shouting and screaming, you'd ban them from your restaurant. Oh my God. It's happening again. Oh, my fucking head. I can't. How do you, you'd ban them. When that happens, those people get banned. In real life. If you're in a restaurant and you kick off with someone else, you're going to get banned from that restaurant.
And you get this situation, it's like, Jesus, this sucks. You know? So I'm not having any more of this
shit. He snorted into his hand and he wiped it on his pants. Oh, that's so gross. Oh, fuck. I was watching because he does the ears a lot. And I feel like he has ear infections because he doesn't keep things clean. So when he's rubbing and scratching certain places, he's transferring infections around. And I doubt he cleans his environment either. And we know this because we've seen how dusty his office gets when he turns the camera around, even though he can't when he's asked to do press-ups. But, so I'm thinking this, keep an eye on that, because it might be why he's getting infections so much. He's getting his fingers dirty and then putting them in his ears. And then I saw him do that and I'm like, right, he's going, that was a pretty big snort. That was quite audible, it's quite clear. So I'm like, right, there's something there. And then I saw him doing that. Oh, fuck. Fuck, that's gross. And he's going to be wearing them for hours. He'll probably wear them all day. Oh, there's no way he's changing his tracky bottoms when he's done with this stream. Oh. And then he'll go downstairs and give his wife a hug and have dinner with her. Oh.
No more beef. No more drama. No more bullshit. Oh, but it's just a meme. Well, guess what? Grow up. Really, grow up. Fuck the memes.
Grow up yourself, you word that will get me, like, really told off by me dad. And me mum, to be fair, who is a little bit more lax about me swearing, but still. Oh, shit. Like that. Fuck. That comment that I made at the start of the last video was a joke, and I got a couple of people saying I'm really sorry to hear about it. I'm so sorry. Like, I really appreciate the concern, but I'm so sorry. That was a joke. I'm actually, like, I actually have an alright relationship with my parents, and they're actually quite proud of me because I've got a degree. It was more a joke of that, like, I've got a degree in forensic psychology and I'm making videos about Dark Side Phil. It was more a joke. I'm so sorry. I feel really bad. I feel like I've lied to you. Fuck. I'm sorry. I really, like, I got a message from someone on Twitter saying I'm really sorry about your parents. I was like, oh shit, I did not make it as obvious as I thought I would. That it's a joke. Fuck. I'm really sorry. Like, I'm really sorry.
If the memes are causing shit on my business and detrimental to the viewers, it's no longer a meme, it's derailment, and you're out of here. And if you can't tell the difference, too bad, because it's not my job to teach you. I'm not your...
It fucking is! Yes, it is! It is your job. You're the one who sets the rules. You're the one who says this is acceptable behaviour and this isn't. It is your job to say, that's not a meme anymore, it's taking the piss, or it's harassment. It's, you know, it's your job. They're your stream attendees. They're your audience. You're the one who establishes the norms that they follow. You're the one who's like, here's the behavioural standards that I expect. Here's the rules. You're the one who says, guys, stop doing that. I think I've woke my neighbours up.
Your parent, and I'm not your school marm, gonna beat you with a ruler and whip you with the rosary beads. No, you learn for yourself or you get the fuck out. It's that simple. And the thing is, as harsh as this sounds to some people, other people right now are hearing me saying this and they're like, thank you, Phil.
Nobody's saying that. Actually, there's probably some sycophants in chat saying that, isn't there? Nobody means that, though. If you want to sit there and go, I'm not going to be involved in this. I'm not going to be the one who says this is right and this is wrong. I'm not going to be the one who says this is a meme and this isn't. This is fine, this isn't. Then you don't get to complain when people behave in a way you don't like it because you've not told them, hey, don't do that. Those behaviors aren't okay. Stop it. The reason you got kicked off Twitch was hateful slurs. And the reason you've said so many hateful slurs is because a number of your people have used those slurs in things like super chats. And instead of telling them don't use that word, you've read it out. So they see that as an endorsement of, hey, it's okay to read that word. Because if it wasn't, he would have said something. Or he wouldn't have read it out. But you saying, yeah, it's okay to use that word. I'm thinking of an R word specifically. And so people have read it out a lot. So when Twitch have come to look at you, they've gone, holy shit, he uses this word a lot. And they see that as a slur. So, and they will have communicated that to you. And you'll have seen slurs and thought, right, the N word, I know, that's fine. You know, because it's obvious that everybody is like disapproving of uses of the N word if you're not black. So you think, fine, that's what that word means. When you see the word slurs in the terms of service, you think, all right, it means that word. But you don't establish that another word is also bad to your audience. And there's people that know that that's a word, that don't know that that's a word. There's people that know that that word is a slur, so they don't use it. But there's other people that don't know that that word is a slur, and they continue to use it. And if you don't tell them that word is a slur, stop using it, they'll continue to use it. So when they put it in super chats, you read it out. Because you don't think it's a slur either. But it doesn't change the fact that it is. So when your audience behaves in a way that you've not established is wrong, you don't get to complain about it. Because you've not established it's wrong. Twitch established that that word was wrong. But you still read it out. Numerous times. Like I put together a compilation of them in a previous video. You can't. You need to take responsibility. And he can't. This is a situation where he should have taken responsibility, and he hasn't. And instead, he's going, right, guys, let's move on. I've told OIC off. I've told Kevin off for asking for it. I've told OIC off, but it didn't classify as what I consider an offence. So it's fine. Let's move on. Even though other people do consider it an offence. They do consider it something that should get you banned. And they're worried that it hasn't got an inband. So, yeah, streamer worried now. And I'm so nearly finished. I can keep this under 3 hours, come on. This was a quick one. This was supposed to be a quick one. Fuck.
Thank you for laying down the law, because we're actually people who are on your stream to have a good time, and we can't when these morons are acting like this. So some people are actually very refreshed that I'm saying this, and I'm not putting up with it. So that's that. All right? That's what's happened. And once again, I'm going to say this. I'm not putting up with this fucking stupid shit. Oh, Only Iced Coffee is a fucking... He contributes 90% of the income of Phil, so therefore he won't ban him. Right now, if Only Iced Coffee came into this stream chat and broke the rules, I would ban him. It's that simple. And no one, like I said, no one is immune to acting like a fucking respectable, normal person. Everyone must do that on my streams. They must. Okay? Fair enough? And by the way, Only Iced Coffee knows that. He knows that. He knows he can't just come in here and do whatever.
Hear the voice crack then. He was going for really ridiculous emphasis there. And it's like, it's not inconceivable that someone doesn't. Granted, the amount that you repeat the rules every day, it is probably inconceivable. Unless somebody doesn't necessarily make the start of your stream when you go over the rules. You know. But the rules aren't necessarily clear. There are grey areas. Laws are also written based on interpretations of previously written laws needing to be changed. There's a reason laws are so finicky and written a certain way, because they need to be so exact. Because if you leave laws open for interpretation, you leave loopholes that criminal behaviour can escape through. So your rules being like, just be chill. Above all, be chill. You know, your rules that state don't dox, don't harass. Well, how do you define harassment? You need to define harassment. And a lot of people would consider threatening to dox someone harassment. But instead, because he's not done a specific thing that you think, but you've not defined, you've not written in your rules, don't do this specific thing. Because he's not done that, he's not been punished. But to other people, he's broken the rules. Because their interpretation of the rules is different to yours. Because you've not made yours clear enough that people can understand it. And be like, oh, okay, right. Fair enough. Going forward. So it's not ridiculous or inconceivable that OIC didn't necessarily know. I know, it's ridiculous to me as well. Seems like an obvious thing, doesn't it? Yeah. But hey, you know, this is Phil's audience we're talking about here. I don't like doing that. I don't like us like insinuating or implying that Phil's audience are stupid in any way, shape or form. But, you know, I do sometimes question Phil's intelligence. Because the way he behaves is so contrary to what you'd expect a smarter person to behave like. You know, it doesn't seem to be a huge galaxy brain. No, not even that. It doesn't seem to be a thing that takes a great deal of intelligence to think the way OIC behaved merits some form of punishment. And yet the way he's acting here makes it seem like that is unreasonable. And he's smarter than everyone else. So he obviously knows, and you should all believe that. Because, by the way, OIC knows all that, you know. He knows the rules. He knows that he might have broken them, but it's all right, because he didn't necessarily release that much personal information. He only said he knows the state and what sort of transportation method he uses to get to work. He only threatened to go through the previous chats and find everything he'd said. He only threatened to investigate. He didn't say he was. I'm pretty sure he did actually specifically say he was looking into him and he was going to do this. But that's fine, you guys. He knows the rules. He didn't break them specifically. He might have behaved in a way that a lot of people would interpret as being breaking the rules and deserving of punishment. But he knows the rules. It's fine. There's a reason OIC hasn't been punished, and it's not just Phil's abrogation of responsibility that is an inherent part of any narcissist's psychological build. And you can find that reason on the tip tracker.
Anyway, all right, guys, so that's that. Enough of that bullshit. Let's move on from it, because I'm done with it. I'm really done with it, okay? Okay.
I need to start working out a formula whereby I can determine the amount of time that I'm going to be spending editing depending on the length of the DSP clip. Hopefully, this shouldn't take too long now. This shouldn't take too long. There's less to cut. There's less... No, it's going to take forever. I'm going to get this out quickly because I really did... I wanted to do a big thing celebrating 1,000 subscribers because it's a mental thing to me, and I know it's a cheesy thing, but I had, a couple of fun ideas for it, and it was going to be a bit silly, and there was going to be reactions, there was going to be like analysis of other DSP things, but in between all that there was going to be a bunch of silly stuff, and I really want to finish that, but filming disparate things and putting them together takes a bit longer than just filming this in one go, and again, because I've dealt with OIC before in another video, and I've dealt with how he is with his fans and his audience before as well, across several videos. I really thought this was worth addressing because again, it's just an amazing thing. The way OIC acted just warrants punishment, and the fact that he hasn't been punished in any way, shape, or form, and instead Phil's gone, he's on thin ice now. Let's move on. It's fucking nuts to me. So yeah, I'm going to get this done quickly. But thanks for watching, everybody. Sorry, I know, I'm hurrying up. So yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. I will celebrate the love everybody's shown me by getting me over 1,000 subscribers soon. It's coming, I promise. I just had to deal with this one. It's just really dangerous. Because it's just enabling and allowing, and again, to me, tacitly endorsing this sort of behaviour from this one person. And he's saying that this is more important to me than the safety and comfort of everybody else on this stream. So, yeah, that's a major red flag for me, and I feel like it's the sort of thing that should be highlighted by a lot of people. And thankfully, a couple of people have, uploaded this clip, and shout out to Aquatil again for this one. And yeah, I've gone back to the DDM to find bits of chat here and there. So yeah, I feel like it was worth dealing with. But thanks for watching, everybody. I'll get the next one up soon. See you later. Oh, thank fuck. For one brief moment during that recording, then I thought, did I start the microphone recording?